Ooh, what's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And this is the Nerdy.
The Wordy.
The book club. That's right.
Very wordy.
It's very wordy. It's probably a little echoey. We're sorry. We are home in Calgary for the holidays, but this was the only way that we could not take like a 3-week break. And also, we wanted to end this book on December 31st. So if you're looking for the next episode of the Nerdy Wordy Book Club, make sure you come for the 4-year anniversary of this podcast on December 31st. That is nuts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's nuts. Hi, good morning, everybody.
Hello.
How are we doing? How's the sound? How is the video? Can you see us? Can you hear us? Is this a nightmare?
The 31st. That's a Wednesday.
It is a Wednesday. And then we have book club again on Friday.
Oh, right. That's how we did it. I was like,
Yeah, we're doing double book club that week because we will be doing the finale of the book on Wednesday for the 4-year anniversary, and then we'll be doing the Wind and Truth full book recap on January 2nd. And then on January 9th, we'll be covering the first 20 chapters of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
Hell yeah. I know everyone's very excited for this.
Get your audiobook commissions in.
Hell yes.
Apparently we're commissioning the whole book.
We're just gonna, you know what? We're just gonna marathon it. We're just gonna sit and listen to the whole thing live.
We are gonna, yeah, according to Arzu, that's basically what's gonna happen. Good morning, everyone. There is no sponsor today, but I do want to say, hey, it's almost Christmas. Christmas can be a tough time of the year for some people. So make sure that you are spending your time being with your community, whatever that is, whether it's your family, your friends, your online friends. Make sure you are taking care of yourself this holiday season and getting ready to compete in the Patriot Games 2026. One boy, one girl from every district, state and territory, will be brought to compete in games of some kind.
Great,
probably to the death.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. Love that.
If I suddenly have blue hair and you see me in a nice suit announcing the death of children on the internet, just know the money was really good.
You're getting paid real good for it, yeah. You'll have a full new set of veneers. It'll be great.
Is everyone ready for the Hunger Games? Clarus, how you doing?
I'm good. Hey, it's almost Christmas. That's lovely.
It's Christmas.
It's freaking cold in Calgary. If you've ever been here, it's
a straight up blizzard.
Fucking freezing environment. Humans are not meant to survive these harsh conditions.
And yet, we have our whole life.
Well, yeah, because we have, plumbing and heating and
you complain about it like someone who moved here against their will as an adult.
Well, technically, I moved here against my will as like a 3-year-old.
No, even where you were born was cold. You have been in the cold your whole life.
Yeah, and I still hate it.
Yeah.
It's awful.
All right.
How you doing? What?
Okay, so apparently the bingo is done for now because Arzu had to undo the bingo subscription or something.
Oh no!
Arzu knows better than we do, but no bingo today, so sorry everyone.
Guys.
But the good news is we will still say all the same bullshit we always say, so you can just play the bingo on your own, knowing exactly.
Sorry about that, Arzu. I didn't realize there was a whole website for it. Are we in focus?
The autofocus moves in and out, yeah. As we move. There's nothing we can do about it now. This is a podcast. Hi, everyone. We're here to talk about Wind and Truth Day 9. Arguably, the penultimate day.
What do you mean, arguably?
Sure didn't feel like it.
It is. Oh, okay. Look, I think it felt like it to Adolin. Adolin had a rough go of it.
Adolin had a rough day.
Yeah.
Zach and Kaladin had a rough day, too.
Yeah, nobody had a good time.
No.
Yes.
Shallan didn't do anything again.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty
Shallan
character.
didn't have a rough day. Shallan had a pretty tepid conversation.
She had to watch some, unfortunate things, but, we all watch the news, and it's just how life is.
Yeah, stop complaining, girl.
Oh, God.
Renard and Relaine are still pondering being gay.
At the end of the
world.
They're not pondering.
What would you call what they did this episode?
I would call it fucking deep diving.
Barely.
Oh my god.
Okay.
It's a big deal. They
kissed. It's not. The world is ending. The world is ending. I am so sorry.
It's a big deal for their relationship, okay?
All of this should have been handled earlier.
The world, how it moves forward is highly dependent on their relationship. So...
I'm so done with this book. I'm like beyond done with this book.
Yeah.
I'm riding the struggle bus harder than I've ever ridden any struggle bus in my life.
Oh, that's not true. Crossroads of Twilight was way worse than this.
I had given up by Crossroads of Twilight.
Fair.
Crossroads of Twilight is a worse book.
Yeah, for sure.
But Crossroads of Twilight wasn't the final Wheel of Time book.
Yeah.
And my expectations for it by that point had been dwindling. And so I just kind of was resigned to the fact that Robert Jordan had kind of lost the plot.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think Rhythm of War is Brandon Sanderson's best book, but I still think it is a good book.
Mm-hmm.
I actively don't think this is a good book. And so my expectations were high. It's this big finale. It's the big contest of champions. It's the big all of these things. And I cannot believe how boring the god shit was.
Yeah,
You gave me the history of a god, and I was like, wow, I could have read the Bible. And at least the Bible has, like, events.
Yeah.
Sorry about it.
Yeah. Look, I think Tanavas dying was the highlight of those flashbacks.
Again, knew that happened. And the way in which it happened in the book wasn't interesting enough for me to feel like I needed to find out again. That's the problem.
No, the context for what it means for Baidu Mishram moving forward is definitely important.
Baidu Mishram isn't a character. Baidu Mishram is literally in like 4 scenes in a 5-book series and will maybe be important. And like, but this is the problem, right? Is that all of these scenes are only important if the final day makes them valuable in hindsight. But they're not important to the reader as they are happening. And that's the struggle with this book, is that the entirety of it, even Adlin's plotline, which I think is very good, is how long can you read someone slowly lose a siege until the Deus Ex Machina you were told is coming in day 3 comes? We know it's coming. Like, there's no surprise. Maya's gonna show up with the Deus Ex Machina, so it's just how much of Adlin and these people dying and suffering do you want to read before the Deus Ex Machina that we've promised and that they keep reminding you is coming comes?
Yeah, I think this might have been my least favorite day so far, unfortunately.
I don't think it's my least favorite day. I think that...
Oh, really?
I think that I'm so over the book at this point that I am madder at this day than previous days because I'm just done. Yeah. But I actually think that for the nail scene is so good. Adlin's stuff is very good, even though it is just waiting for Maya to show. Like, it's literally waiting for Godot with battle. You know what I mean? Yanagon and Adlin sit and play cards while they wait for a Spren to cross Shadesmar. It's waiting for Godot. There's just also a siege going on while it's happening.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing more than that. Adlin isn't active in any of it. He can't make choices. They're literally just doing what they can, moment to moment, as this force just keeps hammering them while they wait for Deus Ex Machina to happen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, those scenes are very good, and I like Adlin a lot. And you know what I mean? Like, it's that tough thing of, I do like this character, so spending this time with him isn't as miserable as some of the other plot lines. Yasna.
You thought it was miserable?
I love being right so much.
Shocking.
Everyone in chat is shocked. I love being vindicated by the book. I love being able to go back to that book club and watch it and read everyone in the chat being like, no, you're wrong. Yasna's not morally wrong here. Yasna's not a murderer. What are you talking about? This is just how Carbranth works. And no, Brandon Sanderson agrees with me. Oh my god, he was setting her up for her greatest failure from the very beginning, and I fucking called it. I called it so hard. I am right and Chad is wrong. I I love being right about that.
Oh my god. Everyone saw that coming.
I find the Queen Fen giving over to Taravangian, and it didn't matter anyway because he would have won anyway. And Phelan City, this place that we like have not really spent any time, is Yasna's great failure that she lost because
she didn't lose
we couldn't give her a real plot line.
But except that it would have been lost anyways because they would have just murdered the entire rest of the council that we've never met ever once, maybe.
That scene is to just shit on Yasna.
Yeah, I know.
But Yasna's presence didn't change anything. There's a few Yasna's presence in that plotline only changes that a couple of council members we've never met before weren't murdered. But that's it.
Yeah.
And the book being whether Yasna had been there or not doesn't it changes 6 deaths. It's just a wild.
Yeah. Yeah, and Reese, we started Way of Kings before Wind and Truth came out. That is true.
I know, and I was right then.
Wind and Truth came out this year.
I was right then, and then I'm right now.
Yeah.
Y'all were wrong, and I love it. Oh, I'm bathing. This is why day 9 isn't my least favorite day.
I knew that. I was gonna say
it's because I'm right.
Yeah, you just like.
God, do I love being proved right by the author 2 years later.
Well, it depends if you think Brandon Sanderson is right.
I do.
Okay.
Because Yasna thinks that he's right. Because when Taravangian goes, I'm going to bring something up, and Yasna goes, oh, he can't know about that.
Shit.
She immediately knows what she did wrong.
Yeah.
And Taravangian just starts saying the shit I said on book club.
Pretty much.
He's like, you went
Brandon
to the street,
watched your
flaunted your wealth so that you could, I wouldn't be surprised. You went to the streets.
I would be surprised.
You flaunted your wealth, and you used that as an excuse to murder people. And Yasna's like, I did do that. Yasna's in-book excuse. She literally says to Queen Fen, I was trying to prove a point to Shallan.
Yeah, that's new.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Thank you for the super chat, Arzu.
Wow, Arzu, thank you so much. Where did that come from? Oh, we are so out of focus.
No, we're not.
Yeah, if I move back...
The autofocus is going
forward.
to move with one of us. It's just how it's going to be today.
Oh.
Only one of us is going to be... Unless we stay perfectly parallel, it's going to just... It's going to be...
It just weirdly went out of focus when the super chat thing came up. Oh, it's way more in focus if I'm forward. Okay. Well, Arzu, thank you so much for that super chat.
Arzu says, the Yasna debate was very poorly done. I agree. The arguing was bad, and both Yasna and Taravangian felt like idiots. Also, we should have gotten Queen Fen POV at some point to see where her head is at. Yes.
Damn.
I agree with that.
I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here for a minute. I'm an idiot. I'm a straight up fucking moron because I thought their debate was good.
That doesn't make you an idiot. You can like the debate and us not like the debate, and that doesn't impact your intelligence.
No, I'm pretty sure that nobody likes the debate and nobody thinks it was good. But while I was reading it, I was like, okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense to me. I'm just very easily swayed, I guess.
I don't think... We're in soft seasonal focus. I love soft seasonal focus. Very Hallmark Christmas movie. Hell yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, we're... Oh, my... Ow! That... I can't look at you. Sorry.
Save your eyes from the horror that is my vision.
Just gonna, sit up here.
I don't think that makes you an idiot. I think that people have different priorities, and I think that your intelligences... And you have many, but I think that you have a lot of intelligences that are very rooted in emotional intelligence. And I think that in the Fen Yasna conversation, you're Queen Fen and I'm Yasna. And I would have lost that debate to Taravangian because I would have been trying to spit facts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have swayed you with them.
Yeah.
I would have lost you on the facts that I would be trying to say.
I guess it does, yeah. I think the fact that, I was able to follow that debate is enough of a, clue in to be it wasn't that complicated. You know?
I don't mind that it wasn't complicated. I minded that it didn't matter. And that the book went out of its way to tell me that it didn't matter, and so I just don't care. Okay, yeah, Yasna accomplished nothing and wouldn't have anything.
Well, and that's the problem,
right,
is that because Taravangian had a backup plan, it didn't matter. The only thing that matters is that Jasnah feels like shit. Is basically, this plot line was, hey everybody, Jasnah sucks, and now she knows it. And I was like, wait, yeah, that's pretty rough. Like, that is a rough place to visit your character and leave them at, because Jasnah hasn't been important through this whole book. This is the one thing you did with her, and it was to tear her down.
Well, and to prove Nerdy right. Like, let's not leave out prove Nerdy right.
Sure, you're right.
To acknowledge that Jasnah committed murder.
Yeah.
Unlawfully in a city that she did not have the legal right to do so in.
Nail would shit his pants. Tequila Sunset, thank you for that super
Tequila
chat.
Sunset says, I liked the debate and felt dumb after coming to Reddit, Lamau.
Same. Yeah, no, that is absolutely how I feel.
But officially CM brings up a good point that in your favor. I've heard academics who are objectively very intelligent devolve into idiocy very quickly when debating points of philosophy, so I didn't think this was poorly done. So, like, that is a completely valid way of looking at how the scene is written.
Yeah.
I just think that to take this character and shuffle her off into a plot line that it doesn't matter if she's there or not. It feels like such a waste of Jasnah after wasting her in Rhythm of War. Mm-hmm. And after she does get some good moments in Oathbringer. But again, Oathbringer, one of my favorite fantasy books of all time. You know what I mean?
Same, yeah,
so it's that thing of like, I can go back to Oathbringer on all these characters and be like, he was so much better at writing them then.
Yeah.
And now, what?
Maybe
do you need me to like hold my hand?
No, I think I should need to go close those blinds because the sun is literally. Right. I'm so sorry, but like I'm really losing my mind.
Clarice is getting attacked over here. Hi chat, how are we doing? Are we ready to talk about this book? I'm sorry, I feel bad. Like I genuinely feel bad about how repetitive book club has been lately. But this book it's very long, and I don't think it's very good, and I'm struggling with my expectations right now. I'm struggling with how much I want this book to be good and how baffled I am chapter to chapter in how it was handled.
I cannot fix it.
Great.
The blinds don't come down.
Just keep looking forward. Arzu says Oathbringer is also the book that had the most rewriting and editing done to it, so it being the best done book makes sense.
Okay, alright.
Embry says, I can see why it happened like this. This is supposed to be a super low moment where you learn that the characters are doomed no matter what, and it achieved that. I don't think it did.
I just think if this is the only moment we spend with Jasnah doing anything this whole book, that just feels bad.
I think that the Dark Night of the Soul part of a story arc is important that happens to characters who have had a story arc leading up to that moment, and Jasnah hasn't. And that's the difficult part, right? Mm-hmm. For me, what Jasnah's story feels like here is giving the Dark Night of the Soul moment to a character that we didn't have any of the other moments. So it's just a bummer. Like, Jasnah's storyline in this book is that she goes to Thaylen City, sets up for war, realizes it's not coming, so it's just okay, well, I guess we'll do I guess I don't need to do anything. And then Taravangian shows up and is like, prepare your political debates. Then she goes to the political debate, and she loses, but would have lost anyway.
Yeah.
So both moments, the only two moments we get with her, both have the same war, actually no. Debate, actually no. And by having them both be these weird letdowns in the exact same manner, where neither of them were actually important to begin with, mm-hmm. It's weird that it happens twice, and it's weird that it's the only two things that happen to this character in the entire novel.
Yes, I do think that's the roughest part of it. Oh, I think your mom's trying to fix it.
That is so sweet.
That is very sweet. I do think the one thing that also undercut that portion of the book for me was Jasnah is, like, always the smartest person in the room. And I do think that Jasnah allowing herself to be led by the nose by Taravangian's, like, micro expressions was very strange because he's an avatar presented by a god. Like, everything that you're watching is like a specifically curated movie.
Yeah.
He's not a person anymore. And I do think that that's one of the things that undercut Yasna's intelligence, or didn't feel like the character to me. Well, honestly, I was like, this doesn't feel like Yasna, because like, why would she trust those moments where he's like, and she's like, oh, so I'm gonna like go further into the, like, oh, I'm winning. And I think that was kind of silly. It
felt very much to me like a man who reveres Robert Jordan, though, in the way that Robert Jordan's characters could like look at someone's eye twitch and know their feelings.
Yeah, true.
And it's that same sort of belief that you can read somebody so well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Officially, Sam says, we've had so little of Yasna, I can see it just feeling like a downer since she's basically failed to achieve any of her goals through the whole series so far.
She abolished slavery. So
no, she didn't. She
did
talked about doing it in the future if she ever gets her kingdom back.
No, well,
I know.
It's signed into law.
Sure. But a law that affects 0 people.
Yeah, I just mean
I can sign into laws about our house. They don't do anything because...
Okay, but that you're just being pedantic now, because she still is the leader of the country and is setting an example and writing into law and is trying to get back her country. So when she does, or if she does, those people will benefit from it. Saying, well, she didn't do it is so disingenuous. Come on.
It is.
She's doing her best.
Shouldn't be in these books. If this is what you're going to give the character, she just shouldn't be here. If you're why waste time? This book is wasting time on Yasna. She's pointless. Literally pointless.
And it sucks because she's great.
Oh, she's a great character. Yeah. And I want more of her. I am not saying, but at this point, that's why I don't like this. This was just wasting time. It was just so that Yasna was present. That's the big problem with it. It has nothing to do with the quality of the debate. The debate being good or not, like, that's going to be a very subjective thing.
Yeah.
I think the objective thing about Yasna is that we didn't do enough to build up her arc, and then we got to a point where the end of her arc here is she lost a philosophical debate.
Yeah.
And...
Well, and Hippo Blue says it's disappointing that it didn't matter she discovered the attack was fake. You know, it's like, okay.
But that's...
Yeah.
I think that what Brandon Sanderson was going for, genuinely, was that Taravangian is really fucking scary. And he's a god, and you just can't beat a god. And I understand wanting to set him up in that way. Mm-hmm. And I think that the way that you do that is by having this scene at the beginning of the book.
Yeah, okay.
This isn't a climactic moment.
Yeah.
This is Brandon Sanderson in day 9 of Wind and Truth is still trying to tell us that bad gods would be very scary. And, like, we know. You don't need to convince me that Taravangian is scary at this point in the book. Mm-hmm. And that's what this scene accomplishes.
Yeah.
It isn't about Yasna's character. Isn't about the arc. It isn't even really about Thelena, because who gives a shit? We've never spent any time there. Yeah. We literally fought a war there, and that's it. We just fought a war there 2 books ago. Like, there was a battle there that was really cool, but I couldn't name a Thelen character other than Queen Fen that's important that's still alive. We don't know the council that's at risk if you know what I mean? Like, he hasn't built up Thelena as a country that, like, we have an emotional connection to.
Yeah.
And so this is a scene that does its job of saying bad gods would be very scary.
Yeah.
But we need our characters to be actively doing stuff to stop the bad gods in day 9.
Yeah.
Not still setting up that the bad guy's bad.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah.
And so it's just, it's the problem of Brandon Sanderson's placement of scenes in this book not doing the job that needs to be done at this point in the book. Mm-hmm. And maybe this is just set up for the future. And maybe, like, Stormlight 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is about Yasna. Mm-hmm. And this character actually gets screen time then. And this is just another ad. And this is the, like, dark backstory Yasna gets before she has this incredible arc to get over it in the next few books. But that's going to happen in the mid-2030s, and I don't care about that right now. I'm combing through this book. And I do say combing through because it is so big. There's so much happening. But I'm taking a fine-tooth comb and trying to find moments where our characters are actively working towards any goals. Mm-hmm. And none of them really are. Like, even Kaladin and Szeth kind of the most, realistically, are working towards a goal. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I don't really know what their end goal is, if I'm being completely honest. But we're gonna beat Ishar. But with every other character, there are no active moments in day 9.
Yeah.
And it's the penultimate day of this book. It's these we're headed towards the end of this book, and like Dalinar is straight up not in the book. He's just watching television about shit that happened forever ago. Shallan has the same conversation he had with Mraize of fucking 20 times. And weirdly, even though it's barely a conversation, it's broken up into multiple chapters, even though nothing happens and it doesn't go anywhere. They basically are like, hey, Mraize, we have to end this. And he's like, yeah, I know. We've been doing that the whole book.
Yeah. What do you think we're doing?
When Mraize said, when I see you next, I wanted to throw my phone. I was so mad. When Mraize said, when I see you next, I'm like, what are we doing? Fight. You're...
Dalinar's busy reading the Silmarillion. Yeah.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Jasnah gets to see Lift as her. I guess that's cute. She doesn't do anything in that scene. It's literally just Jasnah sees Lift dressed as her. That's the whole scene for Navani. Navani in day 9 goes and sees that Lift was dressed as her. That's her whole plotline for the day. I guess like Venli and Sigzil do get some sort of active movement towards the trick of Jasnah giving Venli the monarchy of Alethkar, so that as long as Venli is in the Shattered Plains, they win.
She holds it, yeah.
But that happens off page.
Well, yeah.
Even that action, those moments of our characters.
She gets the paper. She gets the bag of paper.
But we learn about it because Jasnah. There's literally a Jasnah chapter where she's like, after doing that interesting thing in the Shattered Plains, which drove me fucking crazy.
Arzu, thank you so much for the gifted memberships. Hell yeah. Oh, that's going to be bouncing in front of our face the whole time. When did you turn that on?
I did not ever turn that on.
That was just default. You're using Streamlabs, that's why.
Yeah, it was the only thing on the computer.
Gotcha. Love that for us. Just gonna like hold. Arzu, thank you so much. Seriously.
Thank you. You're way too kind.
Yeah.
And
there's going to be a lot of Dungeon Crawler Carl reactions, so enjoy those.
Yes. Trust me, I'm so excited to get out of this.
Judah, thank you so much for that super chat. I may be in the minority, but I did really like the debate and Jasnah's failure because, while yes, it did make Taravangian more scary for me, it was a means of knocking Jasnah off her high horse, which I liked.
Those things have noise? Oh, God, no, I didn't realize they had noise. I'm so sorry, y'all. I did not realize those had noise with them. That should be turned off now. Great. What a podcast. We're so good at this.
Yeah, sorry, this is the travel computer.
I understand what you're saying. Is
it better? Sorry, guys, is that better?
Oh, I can actually just turn the alert. Do we want the alerts or do we want them off? I can turn them off.
Well, it makes it harder for clips.
Great. I'm going to turn off the alerts. Sorry, everyone. Those visual alerts are too much. We're going to turn those to not be visible.
Yeah, we love you guys. We appreciate the gift subs and the chats.
Or actually, I'll make them visible. I'll just move them.
Oh, shit. Yeah, you can just, move it and make it smaller. So that it's still, fun.
Yeah.
But,
there we go. So they will still appear.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you as well in that while I was reading it, I did enjoy the debate and I liked it, but I didn't like it in this book because it's the only thing we've seen Jasnah do, and I really like Jasnah as a character. And that's it just didn't, it just felt like shitting all over her for no reason. Because Taravangian was already gonna win whatever way this went. So it didn't matter. That was the problem. We shit all over her character and it didn't even matter.
And I'm sure it does on day 10.
Maybe, I hope so.
Can we talk about day 10 really quick though?
So can I create the reaction commission thread on Discord yet? Arzu,
go for it.
Do it. Go for it.
Yeah, we're Dungeon Crawler Carl starts January. The first book club on Dungeon Crawler Carl will be January 9th, right? We're doing the first that.
No, I thought we were doing a full series recap for Stormlight.
I don't want to complain about this book. Can we move on to something fun?
I was gonna let people do questions for the series.
But we're doing that the Friday after the finale.
Friday.
That's January 2nd.
Oh, yes. No, you're right.
And
sorry,
then, sorry.
We have 2 book clubs in 1 week.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that we have 2 book clubs in 1 week. Yes.
Yes. And then
you are right.
January 2nd, we're going to do the full series recap on Stormlight. We'll open the questions tab because it's ask your questions. That one's probably going to be a long one because we're going to do all 5 books.
Yeah. And maybe keep your questions to the other books.
No, ask every question you want. We'll up the question limit from 3 to 5. So everyone can ask 5 questions on that one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's 5 books.
Yeah, 5
and then
questions per person.
And if we do a long book club on the January 2nd, that'll be fun. Great way to kick off the year.
Yeah, it'll be great, honestly.
And then January 9th, we're starting Dungeon Crawler Carl. I think we're doing chapter 1 to 20, Arzu? Or 1 to 19?
We're doing the first half of the book.
Yeah. The split is already in the book club Discord. If you're not in the Discord, the link in the description won't work because Brandon broke it, so I will fix that.
Oopsie. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We're really excited. You wanted to talk about day 10?
Yeah, let's talk about day 10 really quick before we get into the chapters. Which, like, I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about individual chapters if I'm being honest. But let's talk about day 10. So here's where we're at. I want to go through...
One moment. Tequila Sunset. Thanks for your super checks. I think we're going to talk for a minute.
Yeah.
I feel like it matters to Taravangian. He explicitly states that Dalinar and Yasna's opinion matters to him. He wants to win and be right. Yeah. But I care about Yasna. I don't really care about Taravangian. It's good for Taravangian. He's
no, and to I actually understand what you're saying, and this book wants Taravangian to be a main character. Mm-hmm. I have found the Taravangian interludes really rough, personally, and so I think that's why I'm not as inclined to care about his characterization. Like, I found, you know what, that is interesting. If you reframe this book as being from Taravangian's point of view, you could honestly...
It's a good time.
You could honestly say that the arc works better.
Yes.
The problem is that
I hate the Taravangian Odium thing because within a few days, Taravangian doesn't exist anymore. He is just Odium.
Well, no, he's still Taravangian. I disagree with you on that. But
that moment where he's like, "Fuck it, it's Odium time, bitches." I was like, "All right, I'm sorry." That really killed it for me.
The way in which his actions have been very mustache-twirly to me haven't worked. Like, the fact that he hasn't just killed everyone in the spiritual realm, that he's, like, fucking with them, feels pointless.
Well, he can't kill Dalinar.
Okay, that's 1 of 6 people.
Yeah.
Like, just kill Shallan. The one of the biggest problems with Brandon Sanderson's books is that he has made all of this universe revolve around these gods that are supposed to at the same time be like crazy powerful, but also never do anything that like is... They never treat individual people like individuals. Like, there's like literal plot armor around characters so much with the gods that it gets exhausting.
Well, the gods can't just kill anyone.
But they can in the spiritual realm.
Why?
Because that's what Wit says at the beginning of this book. He's like, if Odium turns his attention towards you in the spiritual realm, he can just wipe you out.
I thought that he could do that to Wit, not them. I thought Wit was exposed in the spiritual realm in a way that he could die. I didn't... Unless...
He can just kill people in the spiritual realm. That wasn't that the whole concern at the beginning of this book?
Yeah, Odium can kill Wit. Wit has different rules.
Yeah, Wit always has different rules. Have they ever actually affected anything? No. We're just told that Wit has different rules. I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I for some reason I thought it was that, like, Wit would be in danger there, which is why he doesn't go.
I don't know. It's just the way in which the god rules interact with the plot, where, like, I think it is the biggest problem with the whole Cosmere as a whole, is that the more the gods are characters, the more you want them to do things, and every time they do anything, it has to come with an explanation of why they are allowed to do that specific thing and not this other specific thing.
Yeah, sure.
And the rules around that are so...
Yeah.
In a world where, like, you know, what's so exciting when you first start reading Sanderson books is that the magic systems are these rules that you get to learn about and that interact with each other. Like when you're first reading Mistborn and you first start to learn about pewter burning and like the build up to the hemalurgic reveals at the end of Mistborn 3 are so cool because they feel so deeply connected to how the powers interact with godhood in that series.
Yeah.
And so the gods are somewhat present, but they're just sort of like swaying people here and there. Mm-hmm. Then you get to Stormlight, and in Stormlight it's like, well, I'm allowed to send a tidal wave to destroy Kharbranth because that city was mine before I became Odium, and so like this action is okay, but I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And it every time it's like, it's not just Odium in somebody's ear getting people to do stuff.
Yeah.
It's literally like Odium can do these crazy things. He's a crazy powerful god. He can destroy planets. He's just not, because like that would involve having to exposit to the audience for pages about why he is allowed to.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's ultimately why the god stuff doesn't work for me. Is it's like, why is Odium allowed to sit in a political debate? Like why is that allowed? You know what I mean? I don't really understand. Like that's intervening.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the Taravangian POV... Thank you so much, Judah Isaac, for the super chat.
Thank you so much.
I think the Taravangian POV is why I like this book a lot, because after reading Rhythm of War, this is kind of what I expected and wanted, but others didn't. Sure, and that's a completely valid opinion to have, right?
Yeah. If you are reframing this book as it's like Taravangian is the main character...
Yeah.
Then it does become a completely different book. It is not what I was expecting, and... I just don't like that decision. But I can absolutely see how you'd get a lot out of this book from that perspective. 100%.
Mimong says, I also think that gods being able to see the future makes them less interesting. I agree with that. I think there's too much future sight. I think it's gotten to the point where everybody can see the future. Ishar can see the future. We're at a point where characters are talking about... We get it in the Zeth chapter... where the voice in the flashback, where the voice is like, I'll see you in 10 years. And that to me is so fucking stupid. Like, the fact that Zeth...
We'll get to the Zeth stuff.
Ishar sent Zeth out to be truthless to go do all this stuff because he could just see that this was going to happen is so boring to me. And, like, it just ruins... It ruins so much of the agency of any of these characters. I'm like, okay, so if everything up until Zeth gets back to... Shinovar is predetermined, why did I read the book?
Yeah.
If it was guaranteed to happen, then you're saying these characters don't have agency. You're saying there's no free will. Why should I care what happens to them? What happens at the end of the book is gonna happen. And I understand that the book keeps taking the position of, well, the future isn't set in stone. And it's like, well, if the future isn't set in stone, then Ishar should not be so fucking confident about what's going to happen in 10 years. And it's the balance this book wants to play with. Where it's like, well, the future isn't set in stone, but there's some stuff that is, but like some stuff isn't, but like this stuff isn't, but this stuff is. And it's like, okay...
Well, that's how Future Sight works when it's not set in stone.
Either Ishar knew that Zeth was going to be back in 10 years, or he had to know that his ability to see the future was so limited to things that can change, that the idea that he could guarantee Zeth would come back in 10 years is 0%. Because the number of events between year 1 and year 10 is infinite.
If you can see the future, and you can see all of the possibilities, and there's 8 billion possibilities, and in 7 billion of them he comes back in 10 years, it's like, wow, that's pretty good odds.
Okay, but it's not 8 billion possibilities. It's infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
And in infinite possibilities, you cannot see the future. And this is the same problem I had with the diagram, right? Either the diagram is 100% correct, or it is 100% wrong.
Judah, thank you so much for coming back to the nerd table. I always take Ishar's word with a pinch of copper.
But I understand what you're saying, but we know that he's right. Because Zeth is back. Zeth is back 10 years later. Right? That's where it gets complicated, is... One is that
even gamblers win eventually sometimes. Like,
it's not a gamble. He knows. He can see the future, and he knows.
I don't know.
Okay. We have to talk day 10 before we get into the book.
Great. Let's do it.
What the fuck is the ending of this book?
No idea.
Because here, let's just talk through the plot lines and what's left for them to finish.
I think Szeth becomes Honor, and Baedo Mishram becomes Odium.
Okay. So, in the Szeth plotline, you think he becomes Honor. Kaladin becomes... So here's what we have left that has to happen. Kaladin has to fight Ashar, right? And probably become a herald at this point.
Or do we not have heralds at the end of Book 10?
I would prefer that, but I don't think that's where this book is going. Kaladin has to do that. Szeth and Nail are going to watch, and I don't know. But that plotline has to end with something to do with Ashar that will not affect the rest of the plotlines. Dalinar has to.
Well, no, that's why I think it will affect the rest of the plotlines, because if Szeth becomes Honor, then it does matter.
Sure, yeah. Dalinar has to get out of the vision, figure out why that vision made any sense whatsoever to watch at this point in the book and why it was relevant in any way. Go to the Contest of Champions, figure out what the Contest of Champions is, compete in the Contest of Champions,
I told you why it's relevant.
What?
I told you why it's relevant. Because Honor is the one that betrayed Baedo Mishram, not humanity.
I really hate that, and I think that's dumb. But Dalinar has to put together why that matters to his plotline. Okay, you're right. So, your opinion is that the reason why we watched these Tanavast visions, right?
Yeah.
Was so that we know that humanity didn't betray Baedo Mishram, Honor did.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. What does that have to do with Dalinar and Odium's competition?
I, at this point, don't believe that there will be a Contest of Champions.
If there's no Contest of Champions at the end of this book, I'm going to lose my shit.
That is fair, but I don't think that there
has to be a Contest of Champions because it's a contract.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If there's a new Honor and a new Odium, those contracts don't matter.
No, we know that they do.
No, because Reyes was like, I promise to keep the spirit of the contract. And then Taravangian takes over and he's like, fuck that shit.
No, because we get the interlude where Cultivation tells him that he still has to do the contract. And Dalinar isn't going to become Honor, right?
Because he's looking for it.
Yes.
Although, but the Stormfather is deliberately looking for... Here's what I don't get. The Stormfather's like, I'm looking for someone to take the Shard of Honor.
Yes.
And then is like, I spent so much time on Dalinar, but I don't want him to find it and take the Shard of Honor.
Yes.
So why spend that much time with Dalinar?
I don't know. So Dalinar has to find a way for the Tanavast visions to have any relevance to his plotline. Not to Szeth's plotline, where it feels like the Tanavast visions have a lot of relevance to Szeth's plotline.
Sure.
Should Szeth become Honor, which he might not. I don't know. Shallan has to fight Mraize, which will not be relevant to the rest of the book.
No.
Shallan has to then somehow get out of the spiritual realm. Lane and Renarin have to come up with a reason to be relevant to the book at all beyond...
I think that they are the ones that help convince Baedo Mishram to not just, murder humanity, right?
What does Baedo Mishram have to do with anything right now?
Well, because Baedo Mishram might actually be a good god.
Oh, you're saying, they're going to try and... So Taravangian's going to die this book?
Sure.
How?
Because Baedo Mishram is the only one that can, rival Odium. That's why Odium's scared of Baedo Mishram. That's been the whole point of trying to find her. Is that she's the only one that has some sneaky ace up her sleeve to get rid of Taravangian / Odium / whatever is going on there.
Okay, I see what you're saying. No, I understand what you're saying. So you're saying, oh, man, wow.
But here's the thing. This book is not the end of the series. And so maybe none of these things happen.
Yeah.
And maybe it's all cliffhangers. And maybe that's why people don't like it.
I don't know. I think it's the middle of the book that killed people's enjoyment of it. Mishram took up his power from the pool. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah. Odium did create Biomushroom. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Odium created all of the Unmade.
Which is why Honor's deal with Odium is that he'll get Biomushroom taken care of because she's a spren that Odium created that could hold the power of Odium, I guess, or something.
He's scared of her, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, we're so far into this book, and I'm sitting here being like, I don't even fucking know. Renarin and Relaine are gay, and that is their plot, and...
Honestly, happy for them.
# representation, I guess. I wish they were gay and active, but they're gay and watching television in the spiritual realm.
Oh my god.
Light Flow says, I heard that each of the next 5 books is one of the 5 hours leading up to the Contest of Champions. That's so funny.
How fucking dare you?
But they're 50 hours of audiobook.
Oh my god, because it's everybody's perspective on every single hour.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, man.
Okay, so Dalinar has to get back and do or do not do the Contest of Champions. Shallan has to fight Mraize and get back. Relaine and Renarin have to do something and get back. I don't know. I
think they end up finding Biomushroom personally, but yeah.
Sure, maybe that's relevant. It feels like it could be. It doesn't need to be.
Honestly, Biomushroom feels like the most relevant thing because she's the whole MacGuffin of this entire book.
Yeah. Navani needs to start a plot line. I don't know. Navani's not relevant at all. Navani doesn't matter.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What a waste of a character in a book. Lift and Wit, I thought we were definitely going to get more of that. That's just done. But
it was one interlude, and honestly, it was the highlight of the book.
Weirdly.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Wit being the Dawn Shard matters at the end of this book.
Nope, I don't think that will matter at all in the slightest. Not even an iota.
What plotlines am I missing right now? Oh, something has to happen at the Shattered Plains with Venli and Elle.
Venli's going to be Queen of Alethkar, yeah.
Elle, the fuse that I thought was going to be the cool big bad guy of the book, and is literally...
He's chilling.
He's so...
Someone has to kill Moash, right? That has to happen. He needs to fucking
die. No, Moash survives to the next 5 books, for sure.
God.
I will be shocked if we see Moash again this book.
Yeah. And then we have to see...
Because Moash, it has to be Moash Kaladin. Who's going to kill Moash at this point?
Sigzil?
Sigzil, well, with Vienta as a Shardblade? Maybe. Oh, we have to get the Deus Ex Machina of Maya saving Azamir. There's nothing left, but saving, I guess, the city of Azamir. Everyone's there's dead.
Not a lot of city to save, yeah.
But we do get that Deus Machina because we've been promised it the entire book.
Yeah.
Is that all the plot lines?
I don't know. Do you think Gavinor is still gonna be Odium's champion? I don't think so, because he's out of the spiritual realm now. He can't, age rapidly.
I'm not gonna lie. He better be? Or else why did any of that happen?
Gavinor going along with them, other than to add stakes that, oh my god, child in danger, it seems to have not mattered at all.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, because I thought there was gonna be... I thought Brandon Sanderson was gonna do something cool with it. If I'm being completely honest.
Oh, the mink could come back? That's one that could happen.
Oh, yeah. Does anyone die before the end of the book? I mean... At this point, I honestly don't think so.
Really? You don't think anyone dies in this book?
Not with the way it's going.
I think Nail does. I think Nail gets to...
Sure.
Nail and Ashar both die. Die. Permadeath.
Die.
Although, how? They don't have the anti-light daggers over there.
Die. They break the Oath Pact. The Heralds die. Oath Pact, bye-bye. No more. Get rid of it. No more Heralds. Put them out of their fucking misery.
I really am just genuinely shocked to be at this point in the book.
And being like...
And to be like, I don't know what's going on, man. There's so much happening... But, I'm assuming Yasna does something in the final day.
Don't assume anything.
But,
this is a story about procrastination being the real evil. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Should we talk about the chapters individually?
Yeah, we can do that.
I wish I felt momentum. You know what this book doesn't have is any momentum.
Yeah.
Going into the final day, other than I'm so excited to watch Maya show up in Deus. I am excited for that Deus Ex Machina.
100%. Yep. I want to know what's going on there for sure.
That's the only thing I am actually excited to watch the end of.
Yeah.
Chapter 100. God. God, found Roshar.
Good for you. Moving on.
My girlfriend came. She's a dragon.
We have dragons, guys. I am immediately a Cosmere fan again because dragons. You won me over. That's the way to do it. Actually, that's not true. Didn't like Fourth Wing, so that's actually a lie. I'm a liar.
So core is cultivation. She and Tanavast were in love prior to killing Adenalcium.
Which, can we talk about this? Or do you want to talk about it when we get to then when they talk about it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Guys, these are the people that hold the shards of the world, except for Sazed, are the dumbest fucking beings in the universe. How did it take them this long to realize maybe breaking up Adenalcium would be bad? Like, they're like, oh no, we separated the good from the bad, and so the bad is really bad. And then the bad went and killed the good. Like, fucking yeah, duh. These people are all dumb.
Yeah.
This pissed me off so much. I'm like, yeah, of fucking course it was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And they were like, and Adenalcium didn't even fight at the end because he knew how fucking destructive it would be. Yeah, because you dumb fucks were like, I want a piece of that. Like.
Yeah, I wish.
Pisses me off.
Honestly, given how Tanavast's relationship with this works, I almost wish we'd gone back into this and like understood why they did it in the first place. Because we understand that it was bad, but
was it? Was it though?
You literally just yelled that it was.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like Adenalcium was bad. Sorry,
no. We understand that ripping apart was bad.
That breaking him apart was bad.
So
yeah.
Why not give us any like honestly, this would have been more interesting if we'd been given context for why they did it.
Yeah, I agree. That would have been far more interesting.
It would have been far more. It would have made the Tanavast stuff have more weight. And I feel like we don't get it because Brandon Sanderson wants to tease the book that's going to come one day.
It's an ad, yes.
But it is the Win and Truth problem. This book is just an ad. It is just an advertisement for future books. It isn't its own book. It's just an ad for the future. And that is actually very disappointing. Now, and the more I say that, and the more it just is true as I'm reading it, the more disappointed I am in the advertisement that I've been getting for the last 2 months.
Yeah. Of
Brandon Sanderson hoping that his audience loves being told that future Brandon Sanderson books are coming. Well,
no, a lot of them do. And I do understand it to some extent, but I'm kind of over it.
Yeah. Then Ray shows up.
Yep.
Yeah, they really like the planet because the songs are pretty. Fuck, man.
Yeah, they're like drawn to it. I will say the planet with the core of metal, that's Scadrial, right?
No, the planet with the core of metal is the one where the souls are drawn to. That's Braze, where the fused live in between desolations.
Right, because they're drawn to it.
Yeah,
they feel a draw towards
whatever the core of metal is, whatever the metal at the core of that planet is, it's going to be relevant in future Stormlight books because it's going to be like the metal that you can use to like draw souls out of people or some shit.
Yeah, probably.
And so they're just the whatever that metal is, it draws the souls to the planet. It's a giant soul magnet.
Great.
Chapter 101, Steering a Chull. Venli and the five debate whether or not to take Odium's offer, and Venli is like, I have an idea. So much of this book is bits of chapters like this where a character watches other characters debate an idea, get nowhere with it, say they have an idea, and then the chapter ends. And then we never actually see the characters do stuff. This is why You could argue very easily that characters do actually have a lot of active choices in this book. We just only see them have the idea. We don't actually see them do the active thing. We see them...
Or, like, think through it.
We get told by their inner monologue that they have an idea, and then the chapter ends.
Yeah.
And so we never actually see characters be active. Mm-hmm. We just see them think things.
Yeah.
And then they go off, and they do the active thing in between chapters, and then it's presented as a reveal to us that the characters whose POV we are in did things off page.
Yeah.
That's why this book is exhausting.
Yeah, no,
Among the million other things.
I think that's part of it, for sure.
But, like, literally, like, the 5 debate, they come to no conclusion, and then Venli says, I have an idea. Or she says, can I say something? And then that's the end of the chapter.
Yeah.
That's it. Or that's the end of Venli's part in this chapter. She's the POV character. Let us watch her do stuff. Odium has more perspective on the POVs of our main characters than we do.
Yeah.
We cut to Navani. Navani is traveling through the past. We find out that Navani as a child was not a very good writer, I guess. And so women were really mean to her because she was a child who couldn't write very good.
Yep.
It's like the defining moment of her life, and it's a little on the nose.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
In a world where, like, they're making fun of her for not having any propriety, the women are behaving without propriety, and it's just like it's a weirdly constructed scene in that it didn't have what I would consider to be the, like, hoity-toity, I know they're mocking me, but they're not mocking me overtly.
Yeah, but no, they're straight up just pointing and laughing. Adults bullying her?
Yeah. Without any sort of, like, culture to it. It's a very odd scene. It is a group of
grown women bullying a 10-year-old, 12-year-old?
I think she's 12.
Yeah. Very strange.
Yeah. Anyway, so Navani is like, oh, I can... These visions are being mean to me. So if I tell the vision other moments that made me feel bad, maybe the visions will take me to them.
And it works.
And it works.
And it
She's
works.
like, you know what would really hurt me? What if I had to watch Elokar die?
Yeah. Oh, wow, the camera's just focusing on your iPad.
Sorry.
Rough. Yeah, no, that's... It works. It works. She's like, wait, this is how you bully me.
So she...
These visions are simple.
Bops over to the day that Elokar died. Chapter 100.
She's trying to find Gavinor, and she thinks that that's where Gavinor will be, which does make sense.
Does it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It makes as much sense as anything else, but the idea that Gavinor has, like, one bad day, and that he's just reliving the same bad day over and over again, even though...
Yeah, because he's a baby who got tortured by Spren, and then his dad died. The day his dad died is probably the worst day of his life. His dad and mom both died.
I understand that. I do get it. I understand what you're saying, and you're right about that. Like, I'm not disagreeing with that at all, but... The logic of the spiritual realm up until this point has not led me to believe that day plays out in the spiritual realm in one place, and that being in that vision means that they would be in the same vision of it.
Why? They've all been in the same visions. Dalinar and stuff is having visions. And
no, but that was because...
Shelon popped into those visions.
That was specifically because Dalinar was using the bondsmithing of connection to keep them together.
Dalinar? No, Dalinar does not know that Shalon...
we literally watch him do it multiple... Oh, no.
No, Renar...
Not those ones. But they're using their Spren to be in the same visions as Dalinar. Their Spren are literally making that happen. In this case, Odium has ripped them apart.
Well, that's how it's worked so far. Why would we change that for this? That's so complicated.
Because Dalinar had to use bondsmithing to pull Navani and Gavinor into his visions, right? Will you at least agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Great. Why would Odium rip them apart, and then the power of Odium put Navani in the vision that Gavinor is in?
Because that's the vision that's happening right now. Like, they went to the same place.
But why would the place...
You are making it so complicated.
No, I'm saying that it does not matter. It doesn't matter. I just think it is very goofy that Odium's power would put them in the same place. Why would it do that? Even if Odium is not paying attention, which one of the things that gets really complicated in this section is Odium's...
Everywhere.
Odium is able to pay attention to multiple things at once, but almost every plotline mentions that Odium isn't paying attention to them at some point, as if Odium has a limited ability to pay attention to things, and I don't know what is the limit on Odium's ability to pay attention to things. Like, either he can do multiple things at once or he can't, but to have him be like, Yasna, I can be in 2 rooms at once. It's the best part about being God. And then Navani be like, it's a really good thing Odium's not really paying attention to me right now. I'm like, what are the limits to this? How do you know when he's paying attention to something or not? What does attention mean to a god?
It's math.
The book both tells us that he can pay attention to multiple things at once and that he is actively not paying attention to certain things all of the time. It's so weird.
Godhood, man.
And Bryce agrees with me. No, I agree with Nerdy on this. I assumed they were all isolated in little bubbles in their own hellscapes. That's what I assumed too. When she was like, oh, if I just go to Kholinar Palace on the day Aesudan died and Elkar died, Gavinor will just be there. And I was like, wild assumption. It works, but like it's a wild assumption.
Well, I think if Odium is there torturing these people, and Gavinor's torture is that day, then it means that day and that vision is happening, and so why would you get pulled into a different version of it? When it's already happening. The path of least resistance is to bop into the thing that's already going on.
Is that actually less resistance, though?
Yeah. Instead of creating a whole new scenario, yeah. I would imagine.
I'm just saying I don't understand how the spiritual realm works.
Well, no one does.
So like,
and Wit's not here.
It's just odd to me. It's odd to me that Odium isn't paying attention to her, even though he's actively torturing her.
Odium
but
is just
not
ADHD.
Paying attention to her.
It's ADHD. It's like while I'm editing a clip and playing Civ and responding to text messages on my phone, and I've also got like 6 different browsers open. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like,
you are a god, babe. 9 years ago, chapter 102, A Blade in the Night. Zeth goes to the Elsecaller Monastery, and he is going to go kill Posen. And instead he ends up in a training room with Civi, where he's like, hey, Civi, come join me. And she's like, no, Zeth, what you believe isn't right. And then doesn't say anything about what he's wrong about.
It's like, oh my god, wait, you saw all the dead Spren and all the... Oh, shit, well, that's really unfortunate. I wouldn't have started with that. And you're like...
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, what the fuck? I will be honest. One of the worst parts of this book is how the flashbacks... handle this day. Yeah.
Not this day, but all day 9.
Day 9.
Yeah.
Day 9. I am unhappy. And maybe that's why I was like, oh, the Yasna stuff's not that bad. Because this shit, I think is bad. Actually, I think that this day for the Zeth flashbacks is bad, and it sucks because I really liked a lot of the stuff leading up to this, and now I'm just mad about it.
Yeah, I don't like the way it ends. I was really excited for the explanation for the Truthless moment, and it's such a whimper, but it starts here for me, with Civi just not... Civi says, oh, it's bad that they showed you the dead Spren first. But then she doesn't actually try and provide any information.
Yeah, it's fine. It's only the Spren that you've been worshipping your whole life that you believe are sacred and holy and have all these meaning to you and your people. Whatever. Not a big deal.
But even beyond that, the book doesn't... At no point, even in the scenes where he becomes truthless, do they ever try and make a rational argument to him.
No.
They just keep saying random shit to him.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not an unmade. Okay?
What is it? no answer. Like, they never attempt to sway him with words. They just go, no, Zeth. Oh, no. Why you believe this, Zeth? Oh, it's bad. Oh, it's Zeth.
But neither does Ishar.
Oh, no, I know. No. It's bad all the way through. Like, it just doesn't... Ishar is doing it because Ishar can see the future, and he knows that Zeth... And this is the problem with it for me, right? Ishar is behaving irrationally because he can see the future, and he knows that his irrational behavior leads to the future that he wants.
Yeah. He's like, if I scare Zeth will run away and get an army and take a blade and become truthless and go murder wantonly across the fucking planet and then come back to me. And I'm like, okay, that's boring. I'm sorry.
And so, but Posen and Civi never attempt to make any argument to Zeth that has any chance of swaying him. They don't even really try. And... Yeah. Okay, Embry says... Ishar does have the excuse that he's detached from reality, but he also sees the future perfectly clearly. So he's either crazy and sane enough to see the future. Like it's this weird balance this book wants to have with so many things. We're like, oh, Ishar's insane, but also he sees the future clearly and has a very specific plan that he is enacting with precision that absolutely works so well that 10 years from now it has held together. Yeah. He is both completely off his rocker and so able to lock in that he is just he's just a plot device because both of those things shouldn't be true. Yeah. If your character is so crazy that he is acting irrationally in parts of his life, the idea that he would be able to manifest a plan that is so locked into his future sight that it still works 10 years later is difficult for me to buy. Yeah. Yeah, if it was a perfectly sane character, I think that the future sight would be easier to buy into because you're like, okay, this person is very clearly rational. They're able to logically determine like what's the most likely thing to happen. But Ishar is literally like 0% there. Like 0% there in the times that we've seen him. It's just very strange, and I really don't like it. But also, Ishar is able to see the future so well that he can guarantee that the sequence of events will lead to Zeth coming back. Yeah. But also not well enough to see that the Voidbringers still exist. Yeah. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand and how you could set to know that Dalinar is not Odium's champion. I like him saying I'll see you in 10 years and it happening implies that he saw a sequence of events that brought Zeth back after 10 years that involved a version of the future where the Voidbringers and the war don't start back up. And I can't wrap my head around that. And it could have just been solved by having him not say, I'll see you in 10 years. Yeah. Although I guess it's been 9. So Zeth is back a year earlier maybe than Ishar, but I think he just meant, generally, but... Well, no, because the flashback is 9 years earlier. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. He was a little off on his timing. Ember Eyes follows up with, I hadn't considered that. How can you deny reality when you can see the consequences of your actions? That's where it gets so... That's where this starts to... And because these aren't POV characters, because these are like literal plot devices in the background that are just moving the strings of things, they can kind of be anything. But then when you do start to have the end of the book be about them, the reveals about them do actually have a really big impact on the actions they've taken up until that point. Yeah. It's a problem that I think a lot of Hollywood movies have, where, especially modern blockbusters, where they are written as if they expect you not to think about them in reverse. Yeah. And when the writing of your plot starts to fall apart if you think about them in reverse, because if more information makes your character's past actions make less sense, your character's past actions never made sense. Yeah. I honestly would have preferred if this had been an Unmade and not Ishar, because of the insanity of it. I think that just Ishar being crazy is just less interesting
than an unmade created by Odium that has this like kind of twisted future sight and also is a Spren that is murdering Spren and torturing Spren in a weird fucked up way. I just think that to me is more interesting than it just being Ishar and he's cuckoo. You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Like My Fool says, maybe
D10 will change that, but as of right now, I'm mad.
Like My Fool says, maybe he knows certain things will happen, but doesn't get the full picture, kind of like Min's visions. The book would have to establish that somehow, but that's not how Future Sight has worked at any point, really. Like, he's a part of Honor. Like, he has, I don't know. The problem is that Teravangian's powers establish for us how Future Sight works or at least in Roshar.
Well, and at least for God, but if it works then differently for everybody, then that's also very confusing.
If there's just multiple Future Sights, yeah.
And that's it. It is that they're... It's too complicated, and no one wants to read... Well, that's not true. Not no one. I don't really have much interest in reading how Future Sight works for each individual person based on their power set, right?
Yeah.
It's just... it's not for me. That is... Yeah, not for me. Anyways, we're chapter 103.
Weathered. We spent some time with Kaladin making breakfast. He has a conversation with the wind about Nail.
God, these spam texts are crazy.
Oh, yeah. Talk about Nail, about how he's been weathered like a stone, and Kaladin, you need to help him. And... Yeah. Zeth smiles now, so therapy works.
Hey, yeah. You know what? If the takeaway from this book is that therapy works, I'll be happy. Be like, that's a good thing. Everyone should go to therapy at least once if you can. You know.
Yeah.
Self-awareness is a good thing.
Cut over to Sigzil. Sigzil is watching the assault on the walls of Narak Prime.
Yep.
He is really worried about how much Stormlight they have left.
It's not much.
That's right, Mimung. Therapy only takes 9 days. Sign up.
Yeah.
You just have to live with your therapist 24/7 for 9 days, and you too can smile again.
Oh my god.
And so, so Sigzil is fighting with some Fused. Lopin shows up.
Yes.
And is like, hey...
He's back.
We're back. Goncho. Not all of us, though, because there wasn't enough Stormlight at the tower. So there's like 20 of us.
Yeah. And
Vienta's like, okay, what if we give up? what if we retreat? And then we find out that Venli has reached out because of the one of the main characters of the book and her active role in it. It's happening off page. So off page, she made a decision. She talked to the 5. She convinced them of a plan. Then she got in touch with a Windrunner who was able to get in touch with Sigzil.
We can't do this for every chapter.
This is.
I know, but
this is what happened off page in a main character's plotline. All of her activity.
I know, it's brutal.
And so Sigzil's like, oh, I don't need their forces to save the day. However, I have a different plan that he's going to do off page. Because why would we want to watch the characters do stuff when we could watch them have the moments before
after they kill the Unmade?
The moments between killing the Unmade and doing stuff when they're just kind of talking about how much Stormlight they have left. What if we just only saw the moments where they just talked about how much Stormlight they had left, and any of the moments where they were doing stuff, it happened off page so we could find out later what it was that they were doing when they're the main characters of the fucking book.
Yeah. Sorry, you're gonna have to put your knee down.
Oh, fuck
I
off.
know. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're really focused on you are locked in.
Well, because the chat's over there for me. I can see chat.
Yeah. Chapter 104, Enemy.
Hi, chat.
Tanavast is like, oh no, Raze is a bad guy. Great.
Correct.
Chapter 105.
Yeah.
That was 8,000 years ago. He decided, oh yeah, Raze bad. The Honor's power doesn't like Odium. It really doesn't fucking matter. It changes nothing about the present at all.
We already knew this.
Chapter 105, Points of Transition. Navani uses the idea that she needs to see Elhokar as a way to pop into the tower into Alethkar.
Yes.
And then she goes and she gets to see Elhokar kicking ass, taking names, fighting up the stairs.
Yeah.
And she leads them to... I did like that. They're like, how are you here? And she's like, Dalinar made it happen. It makes sense.
Shh. Yeah. Don't worry about it. And the Vision's like, all right, if you say so.
Sure, why not?
You just have to be confident. You know?
Just have to, yes, be confident.
Strong and wrong.
And then she goes and finds Gav, and then she runs down, and she goes to the Oath Gate where Kaladin escaped from this scene, and she doesn't turn to watch Elhokar die, so that the last thing she sees of Elhokar is him smiling at her at the top of the stairs, which is very sweet.
Yeah.
Very sweet moment.
Good moment. Good moment.
And Kaladin opens... Okay. Kaladin opens the Oath Gate. This means that a massive amount of power gets used in the spiritual realm, even though that Oath Gate isn't connecting to anything real, because it doesn't actually exist.
The spiritual realm is investiture.
And so by opening the Oath Gate, the sibling is able to pull her out of the spiritual realm, even though it's just an Oath Gate in a vision.
Yeah, because it activates Stormlight and it makes the connection.
To what?
To the other Oath Gate.
It's like being like, oh my god, the American president died in this movie. The nation has fallen. In real life.
Wait, what?
It's just a vision. It's not an actual Oath Gate.
But it's not a movie. It's a place that they are in. It is a
It's
literal...
not real. It is a vision.
It is a real place. They are in the spiritual realm, which exists as a place. The spiritual realm is real.
But the visions are not real.
No, but if you were
They're just visions.
But the vision replicates a portal that exists to transport people between places, and so it was able to transport them from the spiritual realm to the physical realm because it is already a device that functions similarly.
You want to know how this would have worked for me? If anything like this had happened in any of the 70 visions we've watched up until this point. Like, we've watched there's so many visions where we could have had any element be like, oh my god, what's so fascinating is using the shard blades here takes you like, if Downer had been like, I can feel myself using Stormlight to use this shard blade, right? If you had moments of those connections with these physical things that are real happen prior to this moment.
Well, but Dalinar uses bonds to move people and transport them anyway.
He uses his bonds, but the idea that this
Navani's also a bondsmith, though.
Okay, that's not the point I'm making. The idea that this Oath Gate, that turning this Oath Gate on in a vision uses energy, it isn't foreshadowed at all.
What do you mean uses energy?
That's
whole
what the
spiritual
book says.
realm is energy.
I understand that. I understand that part. But the book says that because they're turning on the Oath Gate in the vision, a massive energy surge happens. Why? We've never had a massive energy surge happen when we turn anything on in the spiritual realm before. All you needed to do was have a massive energy surge happen when
because
you turn on
they don't turn on an Oath Gate.
I know, but I'm saying that this moment wouldn't feel so out of place to me if you had a physical thing happen earlier in this book that had a similar effect.
But nothing that exists uses the same energy as
they
Oath
were
Gates.
in Urithiru earlier in this book.
Okay, which is a spren.
Which is a giant fabrial that uses Stormlight.
No,
How is it not the same thing?
It is a spren that is alive.
But it is also a series of fabrials that use... There is a way that this could have been foreshadowed, and it not just be in this moment this happens.
But also, Towerlight is not Stormlight, right? Like the spiritual realm is made of investiture is Stormlight, and Towerlight is derivative of that. And so they're not even the same thing.
But I wouldn't have a problem with them saying like, oh well, it's like how Towerlight works, or it's like how the fabrial with Towerlight functioned, right?
I don't know. Honestly, this made total sense to me that they were able to use a gate to not world hop, but you know what I mean. Realm hop. There we go. Yeah. It made sense to me. But yeah, Navani is able to get back with Gavnor. So the child is safe. So that is a good thing. She regrets leaving Dalinar. Obviously, that is a completely fair feeling. But she did do the right thing.
Yeah. We cut over to Venli. Venli is walking through Narok Prime. And she walks inside, and Sigil is like, hey, I don't need you... do you remember that chapter earlier where Sigil ended his part by going, I don't need her to fight the battle, but I have a different idea for her? Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? I think that was chapter 103.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in chapter 105, Venli walks into a room, and Sigil goes, hey, I don't need you to fight the battle. I have a different idea, but I need Jasnah. And then the point of view ends.
Yeah. It's riveting.
What the fuck? No. I'm genuinely asking you. What?
I don't have an answer for you.
Are you fucking... Like, you literally had Venli walk in so that Sigil could say exactly what we... What the fuck is wrong with this book?
It's to drop the Jasnah seed so that the audience can figure it out. Like we did.
And look, there's probably stuff in this book that in a vacuum I would like more. But shit like this makes me so mad at the book that it's hard for me to enjoy any of it.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad writing.
That is particularly rough. Yeah.
There's a lot of really bad writing in this book.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're off page. We're gonna continue Sigil and Venli's plan that we keep hinting at every fucking 10 pages. But don't worry, you literally don't get to watch them do anything. You just get to watch them talk about stuff that they're gonna do off page. I actually hate it, and it made me viscerally angry.
Yeah.
Code Monkey 76. Thank you for saying this. It's like Brandon thought he would try writing a book with as little plot as possible, but enough hints and winks that the reader might figure it out. Sure. And maybe people really love the idea of like,
it, yeah.
Maybe he was like, people love theorizing so much that I'll just give them a whole book where all they can do is theorize because I'm not gonna fucking tell them anything.
Yeah.
Don't worry, the characters don't do any stuff that's interesting to read, but they will tell you right before the POV changes that they have an idea that they're gonna go talk to somebody else about off page.
Yeah.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
Chapter 106. Zeth, in the past, goes to attack a town with his peeps. And he's like, hey, we're gonna go attack these people. And then he watches and he's like, God damn it, my soldiers suck.
Yeah. He's like, oh, they if you go and you like kill a bunch of animals, it is not the same as killing a bunch of people.
And so he takes over this town. The Civil War has begun. It's really lame, honestly. It's a lame Civil War where he's taking a bunch of like untrained shepherds to go attack people who don't have an army. And so he's like, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll go to that Stoneward Monastery where I trained, and then those guys are good soldiers.
Yeah.
We'll take them to war. And so he starts heading to that monastery. Chapter 107. Voidbringer.
Oh boy. Windle's here.
7,000 years ago. Tanavast is really sad because Ashen is destroyed. Oh, we should mention Tanavast gives... I forgot to bring it up in that last Tanavast chapter. Tanavast does give the Makabaki... Or Makabak is... The Makabaki are the descendants of Makabak. Makabak gets superpowers to fight Odium because Tanavast is like, hey, those people are dark-skinned like me, and that's cool. And so I...
Okay, yes.
I think
it is more than that, but yes. Yeah. I don't know why Brandon Sanderson felt the need to include the line that they have the same skin color, because it doesn't actually seem that relevant, but yeah.
Yeah, it was odd to me that he's like...
It felt very random.
They're the ones that like turned down whatever the...
Yeah, they were the brave ones who realized what Ray's servants were doing, basically, right? And they were like, "Nah, fuck that! Like, we're not doing this."
They go to the Constitutional Convention and they say, "No, we're gonna be independent."
Yeah.
And then they leave, and Tanavast is like,
"Damn, they look like me. I'm gonna give them magic powers."
Like, you're a god. Are you still like? I don't know. I just found it very funny that he's like, they have dark skin like me. That's dope.
Yeah, it was very
it's
random.
Just a weird line.
Yeah.
And then, so he watches, Jezrien shows up and is like, hey, Makabak, do you want to come with me to this other planet? And Makabak is like, fine, I guess. And then Tenevest and Kor weep in each other's arms until humanity comes to Roshar.
With Reyes.
And Reyes comes with them.
Yeah.
This is all mildly interesting, but we know
all of
other than Odian, or other than Honor giving Nail powers because he's black, we knew all this, right? Like, that's the only in 3 chapters with Tenevest so far. The only new the fact that cultivation is a dragon, which isn't plot relevant. The fact that
Tenevest is black.
Nail got powers for being black.
Yeah.
Tenevest is also black.
Yeah.
But like all of the plot relevant stuff we knew already. And I'm gonna keep saying that about these chapters, but it is really weird to be like, we're gonna show a lot of flashbacks, and then we're gonna do a lot of more flashbacks, and the second set of flashbacks are from a different perspective, but they provide basically the same information.
Yeah.
Chapter 108, Service. This is Zeth. Zeth and Kaladin basically head to the Dustbringer Monastery. Nail went ahead to get ready, I guess. And this is where...
Oh, Nail is... Well, we'll get to him, I guess.
My iPad is dying.
Ah, fair enough. Sorry, babe.
Sorry, what chapter are we on?
You just said it.
I just said it.
Nope. What?
No, I don't think we're there yet.
Missed opportunity for Tenevest is black. Yes. Tragic.
No, I'm better at reading now because I do audiobooks.
Were you not audiobooking during Wheel of Time?
No.
I thought you were sometimes.
No, not until very late in it.
Oh, never mind. I guess, yeah, you can't skim because the audiobooks play.
Yeah. No. That was like a real thing. Was like, I was... Oh my god, yeah. People were so mad at me for skimming, but like...
Just the clothing descriptions.
I haven't skimmed because with the audiobooks, I don't skim anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a bad person.
Yeah, how dare you? Look, I've done it in books before. Sometimes it's an ADHD thing, though. Sometimes where I'm like, oh, I read a page. I did not remember that page. And then I have to, like, go back and, like, double check. But...
Yeah. What?
Man's in love with a dragon and still cares about skin color. Yeah.
It's not that look, here's the thing. It's not that he cares about skin color.
It's just an odd remark to make offhanded. You know, like... It's like, oh, yeah, that guy kind of looks like me, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's... Like, the Cosmere has so many possibilities. There are dragon people.
Yeah. So, Zeth and Kaladin... chapter 108. We're in it. Zeth and Kaladin are talking, and Zeth kind of brings up this idea that he's decided that he is going to have to kill. And then he's not going to be able to avoid that. And Kaladin takes it really well. And Kaladin, I think in his 9 days as a therapist, has learned a lot. And he's like, you know what? Like, honestly, you're probably going to have to. And so I'm not going to be here to stop you from doing that. I'm here to help you with the feelings and the what you're dealing with as you have to do that.
Yeah.
Right? And I actually really liked their interaction here. I thought that this chapter had a really great conversation between them.
Yeah, I think present day Zeth stuff was my favorite of this day for sure. Like, by leaps and bounds, honestly.
Yeah.
It was nice. I don't know. Again, when we talked about this being 10 days, we were like, I don't know what the fuck Kaladin's going to be able to accomplish in 10 days. But I do think that the believability of their interactions and the growth that Szeth has had is actually is pretty great. It's very commendable.
Yeah, no, I agree. So then Szeth and Kaladin get to the monastery, and Nail is like, "You must obey unquestioningly," and Szeth is like, "No."
Well,
and Nail's
actually, yeah.
Nail's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and Kaladin is like, "Blocked, bitch."
Yeah.
Nah, you're fighting me now, Nail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Szeth is like, "I don't want to fight. I don't want to kill," and so Kaladin becomes Szeth's champion in.
It's like a contest of champions.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they agree that they're not going to use Stormlight, and they're going to fight. Which is fine, because Nail doesn't have any other superpowers that have never been brought up in the book up until this point, right? Right? The Heralds don't have any other superpowers that have never been brought up until day 9 of this book, right? We cut over to Jasnah. Jasnah goes and starts talking with Odium, and we find out that she was up all night talking to Wit via span read, coming up with strategies for this fight. Wit apparently wasn't helpful, because didn't come up with anything good.
Wit is apparently also dumb.
And
they were like, we're going to do what Taravangian tells us to do. That seems like the right course of action.
And so Odium is like, hey, don't worry about it. This is going to go really easy. Jasnah is going to convince you, Fen, that you're going to join me. And Jasnah's like, no, I'm not. And Odium's like, I can see the future, so nothing matters.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say the idea that Odium says that you're going to be the reason that he wins, at that point I would just not participate.
Interesting.
Like,
yeah.
I think there's such an interesting idea of why participate in the conversation at all at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're talking with a god.
It's that idea. It's the idea, like, like combat movies where they're always like, don't start the fight, let them come to you. Like, Jasnah should be like, all right, go. No, you first. You're so confident. Make your play now.
Yeah. Well, but also, like, if Jasnah hadn't said anything, I think that, like, Fen probably would have stayed on Jasnah's side. Like, all things considered, right? Fen was already on Jasnah's side. The thing that, like, convinced Fen to not be on Jasnah's side were these, like, things that Odium brought up that Jasnah then reacted to. But, Jasnah could have just been like, he's lying. Like, she didn't have to engage.
Or just have engaged less actively and been more reactive, as opposed to trying to be the one to make a point. Because Odium is like, she's going to make the point that's going to convince you, and then Jasnah's like, bet, I'm going to make other points. And then ends up making the point. And it's...
Yeah, she kind of let herself get played, for sure.
We cut, chapter 109, we cut back over, we have to move faster here. We cut back over, should we just talk through all the Nail Kaladin stuff and just be done with it?
Great.
Do you mind if we stop going chapter by chapter? Because there's like 20 more chapters.
And the chapters jump all over the place, and it's fucking infuriating. We've already said that, so let's move on from that point and just talk about character POVs. So, I think that makes sense.
Let's just talk Kaladin and Nail for the rest of that.
Yeah.
So Kaladin and Nail start fighting.
Yeah.
It's a fun fight at first.
Yeah, it's fun. It's going pretty well. Kaladin's doing okay.
He's doing okay, but then he tries to put his shard plate on because he feels like he's supposed to, and then he's doing worse. We do find out that Nail does have shard plate. Yeah. Which he knows how to use expertly. He, like, forms a fist at one point and just bashes Kaladin in the ribs with his shard gauntlet. And so Kaladin goes flying across the room. He's not able to even nick Nail at all, at any of that.
Yeah.
And then he pulls out a flute out of his bag because he lands on a heap next to it.
Wait, does he pull out the flute before or after the magic powers show up? Because I think Nail has magic powers and then he pulls out the flute. Nail has magic powers now that are not herald powers. They're like super...
No, they are herald powers.
They're not radiant powers. Yeah. They're herald god powers where you can just be like super
But they're
fast.
Not the surges?
No, I'm assuming like Honor gave him fucking metallurgy as well. Like... is what it feels like. He gets super speed, and so Kaladin has literally no hope of touching him at all because the fight is not fair.
Yeah, because his powers that have just never been brought up. And someone was like, well, but they were brought up in the Taln scene in Azamir. And I was like, that scene happened off page.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you. Taln killing all of those views that was off page.
Yep, we didn't even get to see it, so...
Like so many of the most interesting parts of this book.
We're just told he's the best fighter. Yeah.
And so we get this fight between them, and
there's simply no way that Kaladin's gonna win, and he tries to reach for his flute, and then Nail fucking just breaks it. Wit's gonna be so pissed, and then Syl tries to stop Nail, and then 1214 tries to stop Nail. Like, even this high sprint is like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah.
This is... What are we doing here?
Well, before we move on to that, officially CM says, after having seen Taln in action, it should not be surprising Cal had no chance. I'm not saying that I have a problem with Cal not having a chance. That's not what was the thing to me. I felt thrown off by the fact that suddenly heralds have powers that aren't surges. There's no speed surge there's no, like, he's just the Flash now. It's a power that is... if he suddenly was able to do things related to the surges that felt connected to the kinds of powers we've seen them use before, it wouldn't be weird.
He's basically given...
like, if he could use the surges without Stormlight, and he's like, we agreed to no Stormlight, but I can still do stuff, I wouldn't have a problem with it. He just has new powers that we've never seen anyone on Roshar use.
He's basically given the Axendwith powers. What are the terrorist terrorist people powers?
No, because that's Fairkenny.
Yeah, he basically gets super speed.
No, right. He gets a power we've only seen on another planet.
Yeah.
Inexplicably.
Well, the interlude was on this planet, but I agree. I agree.
The person using it is from a different planet, and you cannot naturally get that power. Is that specific enough for you?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted? You wanted me to go back and really just nail the nitty gritty on that?
Yeah. We're very pedantic people, and so I just want to be consistent for the show, you know?
Oh my god. The point that I'm trying to make is that Nail just suddenly has new powers we've never seen a herald use before.
Yeah.
Randomly in this moment.
Yeah.
And it feels like he should have been able to beat the shit out of Kaladin without him. It feels like he should have been able to just win.
It's kind of just like a aha moment that feels kind of out of character for Nail, because Nail supposedly, you know, the law matters and like justice matters, and so it feels dumb that he's like, but then I have magic power, so this was never going to be fair.
So Kaladin picks up the flute, and he plays the song the flute that Wit gave him, and he plays the song that Wit told him to play at the beginning of the book, the only song he knows because Wit told him to, and Nail's like, oh, I know that song. That's really sad. I'm better now.
I mean, I thought this was cool.
I love the Nail half of it. Nail's emotional breakdown at this is so sick.
Yeah.
It is so good.
How Kaladin got to this point is a whole other story. But this chapter by itself...
Yes.
Was very cool.
I absolutely hate that it comes from Wit just handing Kaladin the plot device and the song.
Yeah.
Kaladin didn't have to do anything for this.
It's
just Magic Wit character in book 1 knew the future enough that he gave him this and knew what song he was going to have to play on it. It ruins what is such a good moment for me.
Yeah, 100%. And when we reacted, I said, you know, like, music is such a big part of Roshar. Yeah. It should have been a bigger part of Kaladin's life before now. It should have been a bigger part of the plot before now. It shouldn't have been I'm handing you the thing that's going to solve all your problems from Wit. Right? It should have come from Roshar. I don't like
the wind
externals of this, but I do like this chapter in this specific moment if you kind of take it in a vacuum.
The wind should have taught Kaladin how to play the flute.
Sure, yeah.
Like, it's the simplest fucking thing that Brandon Sanderson says this was all planned out from book 1, right?
Well, yeah, because
ready.
This song is from book 1.
Wit should never have played the song. This song should have been the song Kaladin heard when Syl met him when he was standing at the chasm looking to jump. Right?
Yeah.
It should have been the wind sending him the song then, and then the wind, if Wit gives him the flute, fine. But
sure,
Kaladin, like book 1, Way of Kings, Kaladin should have been at that fire with Wit and said, hey, I keep hearing this song on the wind. And then Wit goes, oh, that's interesting.
Here's a sheet music for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, now you can learn to play.
Here's a flute.
Yeah.
Learn, maybe the wind is telling you something.
Yeah.
Maybe learn that song. And then Kaladin cares about music throughout because it matters to him.
Yeah.
And then in book 5, he uses the music that he gives a shit about to save Nail.
Well,
and instead it's just, Wit told me I should learn this song. And so that's what it is.
So apparently there are like mentions of the wind in earlier books and connections of Kaladin to the wind in earlier books that like we just missed. I think that those things should have been connected to the music in some way.
100%.
Because the music only really feels like it becomes a big part of Roshar in book 4.
Yeah.
And if this was planned out since book 1, I really, really, really think there is a better way to do it other than Wit being like, here's a song, here's a flute, learn to play.
But you know, this is the exact same problem I have with the coin and Hoyd in Mistborn Era 2. Mm-hmm. It's the exact problem I have. Where Brandon Sanderson is like, well, I have this character Wit. He can just hand the plot to characters so that they don't have to actually interact with it. They can just get it handed to them by Wit, and that's cool, right? That's what the audience wants. And maybe it is. I might be in the vast minority by having this problem with it. But this is 2 different series where the way the plot moves forward is that this character, Wit, Hoyd, Modiphius, whatever you want to call him, just shows up and just tells the main character this is important.
Yeah.
And that's it. And the characters are like, oh yeah, thanks, Wit. Without you, I don't know how I would have ever moved the plot forward because I couldn't have ever done it on my own.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I find it really sad that this moment for Nail being broken down by this is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really is so sad. And Nail admitting
100%.
that he has given himself over to the law because he's losing himself is so fucking good.
Yes. That's what I mean. This moment deserved more.
Yeah.
More support from the rest of the series. Because it is good. It is, and I love the idea of it. I really do. I think that it's beautiful and emotionally impactful. I think it could have been set up a lot better, for sure. Yeah. So, Kaladin wins, I guess. Nail tells them that it is Ashar at the end, which is also the Spren that was talking to Zith as in the flashbacks.
Can you imagine? Oh my god! You know what? You know what would have made this moment so much better for me?
What?
Kaladin starts playing the Wind song in book 1, right? He starts playing it with the rocks making stew.
And
Kaladin's playing the flute poorly,
or whistling even. It doesn't even have to be an instrument because maybe that's too hard to come by.
No. Wit still gives him the flute. But the song. So Wit
gives him the flute at the end of the book. I thought. Am I missing? I thought that was the very end of the book.
No. Kaladin walks out on the Shattered Plains at one point, has a conversation with Wit, and walks home.
Sorry,
it's like a completely random scene.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Like, imagine this: Wit gives him the flute, right? Mm-hmm. And he is playing around the stew pot, fucking around with it, trying to play the song that he heard when he decided not to kill himself, right?
Yeah.
Then there's a scene from Way of Kings where he's playing the flute around the stew pot, and everyone, he is feeling okay. One of his first times feeling okay is because Bridge 4 are all there kind of laughing at him as he's playing the flute.
Yeah.
The doors here open, and Nail is about to kill him. And the sound of him poorly playing the flute 2 years ago gets brought in by the wind with the laughter of Bridge 4 playing across the wind. Mm. And you tie Kaladin becoming better across the first book to him with Nail in this moment. And he, in this moment, as he's about to die at the hands of this herald, is bolstered by the sound of Bridge 4 laughing around him playing this song, the Song of Roshar.
Right.
And then suddenly it's this giant character moment, right?
Yeah.
It's this thing where these characters and like his connection to Bridge 4 and becoming better with Bridge 4 becomes tied to the music that he's playing and the way in which he played it over the stew pot. And then that ties in Nail hears the laughter of men who were wrongly enslaved.
Yeah.
And that pulls that injustice is brought in by the music, which ties into Nail. You know what I mean? Like, there's a way that you could have foreshadowed this moment in that without having it and be like, you're going to need to play this flute for Nail one day. It's just a thing that he does. And then it musically ties into the therapy and Nail becoming better. It's not just Whit taught me a song 9 days ago and I played it on the hillsides randomly every night.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's a way to do this that would have elevated Kaladin's half of it up to what is going on with Nail here.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that would have been really nice. I think there's also a way to maybe seed this into, like, him almost dying from the high storm, right? Because the wind is such a, like, prevalent part of that, and it like strengthens the wind's voice for a moment. Like, I think that there's plenty that could have been done to just set this up a little bit better, because again, the moment is fantastic for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see where they take it in daytime. Like the Kaladin, Ishar, like that stuff I do feel like has at least a little bit of momentum to it. So I hope there's a lot of it in the final day because
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I there is something here. I just the music just is, it's not important to Kaladin, and so it's weird that it's the end of his the climax of his arc.
Yeah. Should we go through the flashback stuff then, I guess?
Yeah, let's do that because that's actually the next chapter technically.
Yeah, yeah. And honestly, we've talked a lot kind of about this already. Szeth goes to monastery, puts together an army, goes to find the fighters, and Szeth gets played. Pose and his army show up.
Like, we'll just write, Rock had future sight and saw where the series was going and noped out.
Fair. Honestly, yeah.
He comes back in day 10, right? There's no way Rock isn't in day 10.
Oh, no, I don't think he does. There's too many things.
What? What a weird... No, because cultivation's perpendicularity is going to be important.
To this? I don't know.
I don't know, man.
At this point, I don't know.
Yeah, Szeth is, like, trying to convince these soldiers that he used to train to fight with him. They're not going to, but then Posen shows up with all of the armies for some reason. So the 7 banners come marching against him. And then Kaladin soldiers go to fight the armies. Szeth's soldiers go to fight the armies. But then the soldiers from the Stonebreaker Monastery show up to help because they're outmatched.
Stone Wardens, I think, yeah.
And then the whole point of starting this whole fight where all these people die is so that Szeth can end up in a situation where his dad is there. Like, just show up with his dad. I don't understand why any of this happened, man.
Yeah, and they were
so many people die unnecessarily.
Even Notoro's like, I don't know why I wasn't allowed to talk to you sooner. This is crazy. He's now the bondsmith, honor bearer. Surprise, surprise. And then
that genuinely shocked me.
Very cool. Yeah. No,
but it shouldn't have, because the whole book in the flashbacks they're like, yeah, the bondsmith one is chosen by vote, and Notoro keeps winning votes.
Yeah.
I should have seen that coming. Didn't think about it at all.
100%. But then it's used against Szeth, and Szeth is like, oh no, suddenly I am questioning everything because it's my dad, and my dad says that I have it wrong, but no one will tell me what the fuck's going on.
But they don't. They say that he's wrong, but they don't.
I know. I know.
They just say that, no, son, you're wrong. It's not like that.
I know.
Then what is it?
I know. Torturing Sprint is good.
Frustrating.
Torturing Sprint is actually great, and we're all super here for it, and you should be too.
And so Szeth agrees to be truthless, and then the voice is like, let's just skip to it, because they're like, we got to punish him somehow, and they're like, oh, we'll make him truthless. And then the voice is like, let him keep the honor blade. And they're like, that's insane.
That seems really bad, but sure, we're going to listen to the fucking crazy voice in our heads because we believe that it's Ishar and we believe the Desolations are not coming back, which, I don't know, that is even questionable. I hate.
Oh my god.
What?
Arzu's right. Szeth saw Ishar had his father's blade, his father's honor blade. I completely forgot that Szeth was there for that.
Yeah, no.
Arzu, no, you're right. I completely forgot Szeth was with Dalinar when he saw Ishar.
Yeah, no.
Wait, but...
Anyway,
no. Then Szeth knows that Ishar's the... Wait a second. So Zeth already knows that Ashar is the Unmade, then.
Well, that's where they're going to go deal with Ishar.
Zeth sees Ishar then with the Spren in the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And then sees Ishar with Dalinar.
He doesn't see Ishar. He does not see...
Yeah, because he gets mad that Ishar has his dad's honor blade.
In the flashbacks? No.
No. In the present.
Yeah.
In Rhythm of War.
Yeah. What about it?
So Zeth thinks that Ishar is an Unmade.
Why?
Because he sees the Unmade in the flashback. And then he sees Ishar in Rhythm of War.
Doesn't see Ishar.
He sees... listen to my whole sentence.
Yeah.
He sees the Unmade in the flashback.
Yeah.
And it is Ishar.
No, I thought it wasn't. And then he
sees Ishar again.
I thought he was being all creepy and mysterious and didn't show up as Ishar. Thought he looked totally different. He's
he had like
in a dark cave. He's in a dark cave doing experiments on things. I thought he was like basically like a smoky, disembodied voice in the cave.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, so he was wearing like a light weaving or something. Okay, you're right. God, this book makes me so mad. I'm so done.
Look, here's the thing.
I cannot wait to finish this book.
I don't understand why Zeth was like, oh yeah, I am wrong, even though I know what I saw and Civi confirmed what I saw. But
they provide him no
I really,
valid argument for why he's nailing Spren to the wall.
Yeah.
And Zeth doesn't ask.
I know. I was like, how are they going to convince he's truthless? And it's just, Zeth decides he's truthless because his dad shows up. And I don't understand it. Guys, I don't understand.
Yeah.
If I am missing something, please fucking enlighten me. Please tell me. Because I don't get it. I thought this was bad. It did not make any sense to me. Yeah. I did not understand Zeth in this moment at all.
Well, and Brandon Sanderson, because he wants everything to be these fucking reveals, and I'm so fucking sick of his fucking reveals. I'm so done with him hiding... Because he wants everything to be this fucking reveal where everyone thinks he's so smart. Sorry, that's mean. Brandon Sanderson, if you ever see this, I'm sure you're a lovely person. I'm just very tired of your book right now. And you've written great books, and I'm not a hater. I do think you're a very talented writer. I just think you whiffed really hard. Because he wants it to be a reveal, they never just say the thing that the reason... Because all the flashbacks need is for Posen and them to provide the reason why they think the Spren being nailed to the wall is okay.
Yep.
And they just never say it. And it's so exhausting. Because it's going to be a reveal in day 10. And I'm going to be like, well, I'm sorry. I don't care now. You didn't reveal this when I gave a shit. And so I actually don't care now.
Yeah.
And it's why I'm like so done with this book right now. It's because I know there's going to be a reason. It's just going to be given to us in a way where it's like, didn't you see it all along? And I'm like, no, I don't give a fuck. I really... Brandon Sanderson is so desperate for the reveals that his characters have stopped talking like people.
Yeah.
They are just like devices to get to the end of the chapter where they say, I have an idea, and then they walk away and go do something else.
This was the shit that, like, killed Attack on Titan for us.
Yeah.
Because it was characters just not, like, deliberately not really revealing information because they knew the audience was listening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it had nothing to do with what was going on in the scene. And I found this so... just killed this for me. Like genuinely. Like, I got to this point where Zeth becomes truthless, and I was like, what the actual fuck?
Jonathan O'Neill says he doesn't trust himself and relies on everyone else. He trusts his dad decisions making over his own thoughts. Right, but his dad doesn't... I would be fine with that if his dad just said what he believed.
His dad was like, hey son, this is what you saw, and this is why, and this is... Like, if his dad said anything at all, to provide context to what happened. Because Zeth is still like, wait, I still saw a fucking dead Spren nailed to a wall. That seems really bad. That seems really bad, and Civi's like, yeah, that's bad.
They don't follow up on it in a way where these characters are like, this is why you're wrong. Yeah. This is why you are... This is what we believe about that. This is why we're okay with what you saw. And that's all they had to say. And they would be wrong, right? Like, they would be manipulated by the voice.
Yeah.
But there's 5 characters in this scene talking to Zeth about why he's wrong, and none of them tell him why they are okay with what is happening. And that's why the scene feels so weird. Because they just tell him he's wrong, and he's like, okay, I'm wrong. But he doesn't, but there's no follow-up of like, then what is it?
And again, this is just why it kills it for me, because I can't relate to Zeth at all in this moment.
Yeah.
I'm never. There is absolutely no fucking world in which someone's gonna walk up to me and tell me the sky is green, and I'm gonna be like,
I guess you're right.
Sky's green.
Yeah.
Fuck. Sky's green.
Light by Full, this is the funniest thing you've ever said. And you've said some funny things over the last 4 years. 4 years, y'all. Wheel of Time famously has bad communication between characters, but Wind and Truth has bad communication between the author and the reader. So that's the end of the flashbacks. Zeth now agrees to be truthless, and he gets sold and goes east with the Honor Blade.
Hate it.
We've already talked the Yasna stuff to death. Queen Fen agrees.
Yeah, I don't think we need to touch on it really again, honestly.
Yasna doesn't go... Yasna stays in Thalena because she's depressed and doesn't want to face anyone after her failure, which is a great moment with Navani being like, I don't know what the fuck's going on with her.
She's moping.
Venli...
I will say, though, the one thing that also was so grating in this section is she's like, it's like that one time when they locked me away. And we still have no idea what the context for any of that was.
No fucking clue.
Like, even in Yasna's POV when she's thinking about it, do we still are not given that, except the only morsel that we get is that Navani was gone and then Navani came back and Navani, like, brought her, like, opened the fucking window so she had sunlight again. Infuriating. Yeah. It's rough. So then let's do the Shattered Plains. So on the Shattered Plains, Venli attacks, but she's not actually attacking, she's fake attacking, and so there's a very weird chapter where the first third of the chapter is a straight up comedy scene where Venli is trying to tell the Chasm Fiend which humans it can eat as it's pretending to attack the Nurok Prime. I mean, it definitely destroys stuff.
And then we hard cut to Sigzil dropping papers on the ground for Venli. Mm-hmm. And then getting nearly murdered by Moash in the darkest, like, one of the saddest scenes in the whole book. And the emotional whiplash of like, ha ha ha, which humans can you eat? Ha 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 ha. Moash takes him out of the sky, and then he grazes Vienta with his shard blade, with his anti-light blade.
And he fucking renounces his oath and like fucking dead-eyes Vienta, and she screams in pain and disappears, and he's so distraught that he can't fucking move, and Lopen has to come in and be like, man,
and then Venli walks over, and her Chasm Fiend has a human arm in its mouth, and I was like,
you're like, wow.
Tonally, this is all over the place.
That whiplash was something else, and I get that they're happening in the same place. You know, it's the same 100%. Like plot line, but like I was like,
I don't have a problem with the emotional whiplash of it. I just the fact that they were in the same chapter, and I was like, this is a funny chapter about how like Venli's trying not to be a soldier, and then Moash is like, my God makes me bathe in the pain and destruction I cause my best friends. And I was like, whoa!
And then on the other side, you got the Chasm Fiend being like, oh, humans are not fatty enough.
You don't eat them because they're too protein dense.
It's like, what is happening?
It's so wild.
Yeah, that was something for sure. But holy shit, that moment with Vienta and Sigzil.
Well, yeah. Okay, let's stop laughing about the Venli stuff. Let's get serious because this shit fucked. It sucked, but it fucked.
It sucked and fucked.
So Sigzil is flying towards the Oath Gate.
It was a threesome.
I said no jokes. We're taking this seriously. No jokes. No capes, no jokes. Sigzil is flying towards the Oath Gate to retreat. And all of a sudden just plummets out of the sky. Hits the ground hard.
Yeah. It's a good thing there's not a lot of these Fabrials.
Yeah, there's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he like breaks his legs and can't heal. And so he is trying to tell Vienta to run.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to leave him.
Yeah.
And so Moash goes and slashes at her, causing her extreme pain. Because apparently, and Clarissa and I did disagree about this in the audiobook reaction, and I don't know which of us is right, honestly, at this point, but the anti-light daggers can, like, graze a spren. It doesn't make sense to me. It makes sense to Claris. I see the anti-light spren reaction as being a chemical reaction, and you see it as being like a wound taken from a knife. And I think that's the like fundamental difference in how we view.
Well, I do think that it is prolonged exposure that is what kills the spren. Because so the way that we talked about it is if you touch the light to the light directly, they are two chemicals that immediately interact.
Yeah.
But the knife is a vessel for the light, and Vienta is a vessel for the light. And so they need a slightly more prolonged connection than just a quarter of a second slash. Is kind of how I reasoned it through in my head. But that's not explained.
I find the way in which Wind and Truth nerfed the anti-light daggers at every possible opportunity so that Radiants are not in nearly as much danger as we thought they were, disappointing.
Which I 100% agree with you on that. I understand how these daggers work, but I do agree that these daggers were way more dangerous a book ago.
Rhythm of War made them seem like they were going to be this great balancing act between Radiance and non-Radiance.
Yeah.
And then Wind and Truth, because I felt like Brandon Sanderson acknowledged that there were too many Radiants, there's too many people with powers, and it's too many superpowers. And then in Wind and Truth, I was like, oh, the daggers are going to be the equalizer.
Yeah.
And they're not. Like, they...
Here's the thing. The reason it had to happen this way is so that Sigzil has a moment to renounce his oaths. That's literally why it plays out.
I understand. No, I understand. I understand that.
It is for plot and not for logic as much.
The problem I have with it is that because the Spren don't have the Spren are just a bundle of energy. They don't have a body. Well, they don't have a consistent form.
But then my argument was that Syl has found a way to interact with objects, and so there has to be some kind of substance there to contain the
Again,
Stormlight.
Doesn't matter. She can still change her shape.
Sure, yeah.
So why isn't
she can change it?
If you can change your if Yenta can change her shape in a second, in a millisecond, why isn't she just moving the part of her body that's near the knife away from it and changing her shape away from it?
That is a good question.
That's where the graze versus stab starts to get weird, is like, what actually is the Spren's physical location in space?
Yeah, because if a Spren can become larger and smaller, why can't it become this big when it gets stabbed at? That's a good question.
Yeah, why hold why doesn't Vienta just immediately become
a shard?
Nothing.
Sure, yeah.
Why doesn't she just disappear? You know what I mean? The
guess
Spren have to be somewhere with enough mass that the daggers can actually hit them and stay inside of them for a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
Like, that's how they work now.
Do Spren have instant speed? Yes, we are shown that because the Radiants can instantaneously summon their blades. So I thought so, based on what the book has set up for me. There was a huge difference between instant Shard Blade and 10 Heartbeat Shard Blade. And
well, and the Shard Blades are changing shape instantly.
Yeah, so my only guess is Vienta wasn't paying attention and didn't see the knife coming. Or Vyre...
While fighting with Moaz.
Yes. Or maybe Vyre was also given Herald powers.
In order for the knife has to be in the Spren for a certain amount of time to make sense to me. The Spren have to have a piece of themselves that is a consistent space in our world, which we have not been shown. Because otherwise, if it's about amount of time, then if a Spren gets stabbed with the anti-light dagger, they could just make that part of themselves not part of themselves anymore.
Potentially, yeah.
So then, if you're right, and it is about the reaction time thing, it still has the problem of making these daggers that were supposed to be dangerous at the end of Rhythm of War not dangerous in this book anymore. Because these daggers haven't killed anybody anymore. They kill Teft at the end of Rhythm of War, and then in Wind and Truth, they kill 0 people.
Mima makes an interesting point. Does the anti-Stormlight field affect her transformation? I don't know.
The book doesn't establish that.
I don't know, because we've never seen a Spren transform within this field. We've never seen them become a Shard Blade except when Vienta dies, and obviously becomes a shard blade. And so I actually don't know.
No, Kaladin still uses Syl as a shard blade when. No.
That's what I'm saying. It might affect it.
Yeah.
In which case, that kind of does make sense.
Okay.
But that's us theorizing, and I wish, yeah.
But she's not, the problem is that she's not visible when in this scene, right? She's invisible. So she's not manifesting a form when this happens.
Right.
Vire is able to see her because she is investiture, which means that there is a bundle of investiture that is her. Even when she's invisible. I
guess, yeah.
I felt like the grazing of her being painful made these daggers so much more complicated and weird than it just being if the stormlight touches the anti-light, you die. And now it's this complicated thing of like, well, if 5% of the investiture that makes up where you're at in space when you're not present physically in any way and you're invisible comes into contact with the blade for more than half a second, you die. But if you can move the investiture that makes up your invisible shape out of the blade's path fast enough, you don't. It just gets into like really weird rules about characters that don't actually have enough like physical properties for me to understand where they are and what they're doing.
Well, Light Binding Fool does say that like the sand can detect Spren. So yeah, there has to be something to detect. There has to be a form, and there has to be a form because Syl is able to interact with objects. There has to be something there. It's just not clear.
I just feel like this is another moment where the massive emotional impact of what Sigil does here, which is so cool, gets bogged down for me in trying to understand the mechanics of a Stormlight thing that I feel like is really muddy and weird.
Yeah. And I'm the opposite, where I was like, this moment is so cool that I actually did not think about how it worked whatsoever.
Yeah, and I just think that I think that that's kind of the difference between people who are enjoying this book more than I am and me, right? Like, I think that the people who really like Wind and Truth don't find that the mechanical changes to how my understanding of this world works. They're like, oh, cool, the dagger doesn't kill this friend, it just grazed her. That's sick new information, and Sigil is going to renounce his oaths, and it's going to be this big moment. Whereas I'm like, wait, what do you mean it grazed the Spren? She's dead now. You told me that these daggers killed the Spren. That was the thing they're really good at, and they're so dangerous for Spren, and she is fine.
Well,
until
here's the thing.
She gets stabbed more. Like,
here's the thing. She might have still died. That reaction may have taken longer. We don't know. We just because Sigil takes a moment to renounce his oaths and she becomes a Deadeyes. She might have still died from being grazed anyways, and we can't know.
I just think that like this could have been so much simpler. Of Moash is chasing Vienta, like if the scene is just that Sigil watches as Vienta is fleeing towards the barrier of the field, and Moash starts chasing after her, and Sigil can just see that she's not going to make it, and then he renounces his oaths to save her in that way, and she turns into a shard blade and falls. It's the exact same beat, but you take out the like mechanics of how the shard dagger, the anti-light dagger interacts with her form in a way that I think just would have been cleaner. It would have just been more about the emotion and the tension of the moment, and not about the like, oh no, Moash got her with the dagger one time. If he gets her with the dagger a second time, she's gonna die. Which just feels very like
interesting,
rules based in a way that doesn't feel based on the rule. It's new rules on a thing that I thought had rules that it doesn't have. And look, I'm autistic. I get that this is a thing that's gonna bug me and not other people, but I'm sure
that there are other people as well that were like, You know, I think, like I said, for me, the moment was not bogged down by this. I thought that the impact of it, the choice that he made, was unexpected to me, and I said this in the reaction as well. I was like, I really like that this means that like prophecy is not fucking set in stone. That that not everything is fucking that foresight is not perfect, right? Like I just like thank God that that's not what we're doing with Stormlight, right? And then Lopin showing up and being like,
well, and Sigil's the moment of him renouncing his oaths is sick. Like, it's so sad.
Yeah.
It's awful, right?
It's heartbreaking.
But it is a truly successful moment, in my opinion. And Sigil's emotional distress is, you know, and I did appreciate the book acknowledged Sigil being like, I really hope Adelin's work with Maya means that I can do some good, that I can recover her. Because Vienta did not deserve this.
Yeah.
We'll talk about Tanavest in a second.
Great.
Because I have not yet revealed my greatest disappointment with the Tanavest flashbacks.
Your greatest?
I have a biggest disappointment with the Tanavest flashbacks.
Oh, good.
That I have not yet brought up.
Is it your low for the week?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So Lopin shows up, breaks the Fabrial, and the other Windrunners. The Windrunners start coming over the wall. Moash realizes he's been defeated, so he flees, or not defeated. He won, and he kind of flees with joy.
He flees because he's not going to take on everybody.
Yeah, he doesn't need to. He's already won. And they take Sigil. They retreat. They go through the Oath Gate. There's a moment where Lopin goes to go after Moash. Is like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe not today. And they have lost the Shattered Plains completely, except Venli sits on Narok Prime, and she gets her Chasm Fiend
papers.
You know El, that character that you thought was going to be a scary big bad? It turns out he's just like a bureaucrat who kind of just walks around and talks to people. And if a Chasm Fiend sits down, El goes like, all right, stay here, whatever, I don't give a shit, and then leaves the scene, and you're like, damn, El, I'm so glad you're in this book. You're so cool, man.
Yeah.
You're... What a great villain to introduce. The cool fused with the metal plates in its skin that does literally fucking nothing the entire book. What a disappointment.
Yeah.
That's the end of the Shattered Plains arc. We're going to find out that there's some legal loophole in those pages.
Yeah.
And that's the end of...
Yeah, definitely. What else?
Because Odium's contract is definitely negated by Yasna writing a legal loophole after it's already happened.
Maybe. So what's left then? Just the Tanavast stuff?
Can we talk about my greatest disappointment with the Tanavast stuff?
Absolutely.
So we go through Tanavast's fights with Odium. Tanavast and Kor, their relationship falls apart because Tanavast and Honor's Power are too focused on fighting the wars, and so his dragon mama is too mad at him. She doesn't talk to him anymore. I don't care. He's dead. But we see all these important moments, including we see him make this deal with Bado Mishram to help Bado Mishram take on the power of Odium so that the wars can end because she wants peace. But then he has this conversation with Odium where he's like, Odium, I want to stop this. And Odium's like, how about we stop this if you take that Spren out for me that's making my life hard? And he's like, oh, okay, I'll betray her. And that ruins his life. And in all of this... Yeah,
I do... It's also that Tanavast offers... It's Tanavast's idea.
Sure, yeah. In all of this, in all of the Herald flashbacks, and all of the Radiants being alive in the Herald flashbacks, we get 0 Spren. The intelligence Spren aren't relevant, they're not mentioned. The fact that they've started bonding the Spren never comes up. It's just not important enough to the history of Roshar, I guess, even though it's like how the Radiants function and what the Oaths are based on, who the Oaths are with. Never comes up. And so it's like, oh, that's because all of the Spren are going to be in the Tanavast flashbacks. And like how the Radiants bond with his Spren, including the one that he calls his daughter, that's going to be in the Tanavast flashbacks. And we're going to meet the Radiant that Syl was bonded to in the Tanavast flashbacks. Because that's going to be really important. Like the Spren... The bond between Syl and her old... Remember how she had a Radiant that she was sad that he died? Which I'm pretty sure is Gareth, but...
You think? Yeah.
That's going to be really sad. No, it can't be Gareth. Because her guy died right before the...
Syl's person died right before all the Spren became Deadeyes.
So you know how the Spren are all of honor? You would think that in the history of Roshar... where all of these Spren are pieces of honor, and some of them are like important characters that interact with the world. We're going to see that in these flashbacks. And we're going to meet Syl,
we see
the daughter of honor.
Gavin, or is this weird-looking Spren sometimes?
No, doesn't come up. Doesn't come up.
Yeah.
Ever. The Spren never come up. They're not relevant. Syl is in these flashbacks. Not relevant. The recreance happens. We never see a Spren. We don't see... Like, Maya's moment at the end of Rhythm of War is this big, we chose. We were an equal part of that decision. Were you? Because we watched the flashbacks. We didn't see any of you. Didn't seem like you guys had any point of view on it. We literally went back in time and watched all of this shit. And the Spren. All of these important characters. And we chose this big moment for Maya. Not relevant to the book at all.
You know what the worst part is? They chose... because they didn't have all the relevant information, because Tanavas forgot to tell them that it was a possible future. He just forgot to mention that. Just showed them everything burning and was like, oh, maybe I should have... They're probably going to think that that's... whatever.
How do we get two different flashback sequences through the entire history of Roshar? Two different ones. And there's not a single Spren relevant to either series of flashbacks. How is that possible?
Well, Baido Mishram is a Spren.
Sure. Baido Mishram, the one that isn't of honor. The character whose flashbacks we're following.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Dragonov says, isn't there like 5,000 years between We Chose and humans arriving on Roshar? No idea what you're talking about, bud. The humans are the people who are bonded to the Spren when the whole We Chose moment happened. So I literally don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, yeah, it is thousands of years, but we saw thousands of years go by.
I don't understand your comment. Sorry, Dragonov. I think that Brandon Sanderson cutting the Spren out of the flashbacks is evidence that this book was rushed, and that it is a bad conception. I think that it is too big, and it was too big for him. And he lost too many things along the way.
We lost the plot.
And it is my greatest disappointment in the flashbacks, is that Honor created these bonds with the Spren, and that in the Spren flashbacks... And look, this gets to my problem I've had with Brandon Sanderson books since Elantris, which is that he writes about privileged characters, and he does a really bad job of world building with all of the people and things that he creates in mind. And he does a really good job of focusing in on his very privileged characters and his lords and his ladies. And whenever there is anyone who is at all marginalized or on the edges of his books, he really struggles to empathize with them and bring their feelings into the narrative outside of moments where they are used to move those lords and ladies' emotions around. Maya's We Chose moment is about Adolin, and it's not about Maya, because if it was about Maya, the Spren would have mattered in this book, and they don't. They are so plot devicey, and they shouldn't be. Like, they should be such a big part of the flashbacks. They should be such a big part of all of these conflicts. And the fact that we are watching Syl become more and more human, while at the same time watching the Spren be forgotten in the very plotline where they should be the most relevant, is wildly disappointing to me. It's such a non-starter for me. The Tanavas shit is so lost in not bringing them up because they're so important. Yeah. The Radiants don't exist without them. Yeah. And we've seen the entire flashbacks of Roshar now, and the Spren are just not relevant. None of the Deadeyes are relevant. Maya, how did we not meet Maya in the past? Well, because there's no Spren.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what he was thinking. I really, like, I get that it might feel fan servicey, but the fact that we don't see Syl in the past is so strange to me. You have this instead we watch the Heralds sit in tents and talk about shit over and over and over again. It's just these boring fucking tent scenes where nothing happens.
Yeah.
Where the Heralds just sit around chatting about what's going on Roshar, and we could have spent time with characters I give a shit about.
And I wonder, honestly, like, it is kind of strange that the only mentions of Spren in the flashbacks are this kind of like weird like disdain that people have for Gavinor appearing as like a weird looking Spren. Everyone's kind of like,
I don't think it's disdain.
Like,
I think that's the Vision trying to like adapt to him being there.
Maybe, but I do think that it adds to the weirdness of it. Like,
oh, I agree. I think it is. I think it is bizarre. I think the flashbacks in this book are terrible. Universally across the board, Shallan's flashbacks are bad. Renarin and Relane's flashbacks are bad. All of the flashbacks are ass.
Almost like Zeth's. Almost. The end whiffed it for me.
Sorry, I mostly like the Zeth flashbacks. I meant the spiritual realm stuff.
Sure.
Okay. I have nothing positive to say about the spiritual realm elements of this book. I don't have any moments that I liked.
No.
I don't. I think the Shallan shit has been an utter waste of the audience's time. I like the fact that Maurice is like, next time we meet, we're gonna fight. Fuck all the way off. The Dalinar shit. I know that the end of this book will somehow make some parts of it relevant, but this book is so long, and all of the spiritual realm stuff is bad. And it is I thought the Tanavast stuff, I was like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna see the truth. And the truth is, the point of view we saw from the Heralds was mostly the truth. Like even the Malishi honor betraying Bado Mishram, we don't actually get new information about that from Tanavast. It is still just Tanavast and Malishi that do it. The rest of humanity is absolved in the Malishi version.
Yes,
and then,
but before, yes. Before the Malishi version, we're kind of led to believe that all of humanity betrayed Bado Mishram. And then we find out that it was two people, and then we find out that it was kind of mostly just Tanavast. And, like, okay, that's fine, I guess.
It's just Tanavast and Malishi, but the second time is the same as the first.
Yeah.
We've seen it from Tanavast's point of view doesn't change Malishi's betrayal of Bado Mishram at all.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, Miwok, it sucks that the spiritual realm stuff is like half the book. I agree with you.
Yeah.
I do. That's everything. Like that's all the reading we did this week. I'm so beyond disappointed with this book. And it's really hard. I'm sorry that book club has been repetitive and that it's been complaining, and I know it's probably felt like the slog did during Wheel of Time, but the reality is, like, I've always said that I'm going to be honest about this stuff, right? And I don't want to get to a point where I start to pretend to like shit because I'm worried about the numbers of book club. And I thank you guys for sticking around and hanging out while we kind of deal with the catharsis of this novel. But yeah. Lightbud Fool says, I guess it's hard to write in a realm that's all lucid dreamy. It's hard because the book doesn't really have like a plot for the characters to engage in. The book opens with the characters not knowing what to do, and so they go on an information gathering adventure to figure out what to do, and they never find out. Right? I told this to Claris after the chapter where Navani gets out of the spiritual realm, but Navani leaves the spiritual realm in day 9, hoping that Dalinar finds out information that is helpful because she didn't. All she did was get out of the spiritual realm, right? Navani does not know anything of value coming out of the spiritual realm. And it's a real struggle.
Thanks for being here, Blue. Appreciate you.
Tythana says, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Tanavast flashbacks are there to show the conflict between him and his intent and his shard. That could be handled in one chapter.
Yeah.
It could literally be handled in one chapter. In comparison to like the, oh my god, Ruidian, man. And I hate to compare this to Ruidian, because Ruidian is 2 chapters. Ruidian is 2 chapters in the middle of a book that have more plot, more reveals, and more relevance than the entirety of Wind and Truth.
The spiritual realm, yeah.
And then the whole book to me right now. Except for the Zeph Paladin stuff.
Yes.
Because even, I love Adolin, and his plotline is fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we should talk about it a little bit, but Adolin's plotline's fine, but Adolin isn't, like, doing stuff in it. He is just
Adolin
sticking to it.
Loses at the city. And it was unfortunately kind of inevitable, but it also sucks, and we're just waiting for Maya at this point. And that's it. That's kind of...
Lightblind Full says, did anyone learn anything of value in the spiritual realm? Well, Dalinar is still in the spiritual realm. Shallan, I'm assuming they do in day 10. It's just too late in the book for me to give a shit.
Yeah. We learned the Stormfather is basically honor and is a liar. Okay, yeah. But we already kind of knew that from the fucking Gavilar
but he's still, prologue. But even now, he's still just a piece of honor. So it's not even really new information.
Well, and I was like, okay, so does that mean then that he loves cultivation? But nope, that's never come up.
I don't know, man.
Like, you would think that would be a pretty important part of his character, but I guess not.
I'm at a point where I don't actually see how this book could do anything in the last day to make me enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I want it to be over, and we will read it. We're gonna do our, we'll do our job, but like, I actually can't see a way forward for the plot to make me care about what's going on.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. It is feeling like a slog because I'm like, yeah, I guess. And then we get to the ends of things like Zeth in his flashbacks, and I'm like, well, that's fucking disappointing. Yeah. Like, I'm like, I don't like that at all.
He just sees his dad and immediately gives up. Okay.
I hate that. I hate that. That really irks me.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it probably doesn't bother some people as much as it does me. Totally valid, totally fair. But that one was such a disappointment. Well, and I cannot relate to him at all.
The thing about the Zeth flashbacks is that there was the moment where Zeth does choose.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, Zeth had all this character arc. And then, because last book club, I was like, I don't see how they get Zeth to just give up on what he believes now. Mm-hmm. And the book doesn't do a good job of it, in my opinion. Zeth just gives up. Even though we saw the Zeth Posen moment where his dad is like, I trust you. And Zeth takes that into the cave with the Unmade and is like, my dad trusts me. So I'm going to make a decision here. And then the next day he's like, I saw my dad. And so I gave up on that. It's like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Adolin stuff is really good. The scenes with Yanagon are sweet. Him going to the line is very, like, I think that what Brandon Sanderson does with the pike lines in terms of writing the reality of it and the despair of the, like, inevitable loss is great. Genuinely.
Sure, yeah.
It is a great piece of thematic writing.
Yeah.
That I feel like would have hit harder if the whole book wasn't just Maya's almost here.
Yes, 100%.
I feel like he's even that moment of like great thematic writing, he kind of spoils because we know the Deus Ex Machina is coming, mm-hmm. and like we just know, and I do wish he'd found a better way. I do wish he'd found a better way to get to that.
Yeah.
And I think that the way to do it would have been to cut off their connection at a certain distance.
Yeah.
And so he just can't feel her anymore.
Yeah.
And he goes to reach for her and it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And so he thinks like, she might be dead. Like, I actually don't know if Maya's alive.
Yeah.
Instead of her being like, I'm like an hour out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Mimonk also says like, I didn't like the Adolin stuff because he'd be dead in 10 seconds if he didn't have a leg. I'm not going to pretend that I know.
He's a duelist, and he trained how to fight on one leg.
Look, yeah. I'm not going to pretend that I know how that would work 100%. So that is definitely a mileage may vary.
I just can't imagine a pike wall being that effective. Once you're past your like trained soldiers, the strength advantage that the singers have would so quickly destroy your pike wall.
Yeah, it does in a matter of hours. They hold out for days.
I don't think we'd hold. I think an hour is generous. Once you're at the point where you've got kids on the line.
I think they don't have like literal children, but I think it really depends on how much you believe in the power of determination, right? A lot of stories have feats of strength because people had no other choice or they were defending their homes or whatever it is. And so this, however long they are able to hold out, just matters how much you buy into the concept that humans can push past insurmountable odds to save the people that they love. I want to also touch quickly. Tathanis says, it seems you keep treating Tanvas like he is honor, but they're two different entities. They are two different entities.
Oh my god, but here's that part of this story conversation is.
Well, but here's my problem with it. Then it doesn't matter who holds the shard. If Tanavast has no influence on honor, then it does not matter who holds the shard.
No, that's not what Titanic
is saying. Boring.
That's not what Titanic is saying. They're saying that like Tanavast, was the wrong person to be holding honor.
No, they're saying this
because Tanavast not being honorable was the conflict between them.
I thought that they were saying this in relationship to me saying that, like, the Stormfather might have a connection to cultivation because they were in love.
Yes. So the thing with Tanavast for me... No, because a part of Tanavast is in the Stormfather. They say that.
That's what I... Yeah.
But, so the thing with Tanavast is that Tanavast was the wrong person to hold honor because Tanavast was dishonorable from the very beginning. Because Tanavast and Kor coming to this planet together and breaking their oath with the other shards that they wouldn't interact is Tanavast breaking his oath immediately. So the point of the flashbacks is to say that Tanavast was never honorable. And that the next person who holds honor needs to be an honorable person.
Well, yes.
I just think the way that happened was incredibly boring to read. And also the, God, dude. It's also... I think those flashbacks could have been more interesting if we were in first person with Tanavast as he's doing things. But instead
his diary.
It's Tanavast describing things that happened.
Sure, yeah.
From kind of his perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough.
Levitt, thank you for that super chat. What do you think what do you think the Deus Ex Machina will look like? Is there a version you'd be happy with? I don't know if there is a version I'd be happy with, but I have said that based on what Tanavast and Honor were looking for in the next person to take up Honor, Zeth seems to be the person that they're looking for.
It's not what they're asking about at all.
Yeah.
They're asking about what Maya's Deus Ex Machina is going to look like when she shows up.
What do you think the Deus Ex Machina will look like?
I think
there's so many Deus Ex Machinas.
Well, no, but that comment popped up while we were talking about Maya's Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, okay. You're asking specifically about Maya?
Maya's going to show up with all the Deadeyes. They're gonna the Deadeyes are all gonna show up, and then it's gonna rain shard blades. I don't know.
Well, it seems dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Maya's the only Deus Ex Machina in the book. There's not another Deus Ex Machina coming.
Biodo Mishram.
That's not a Deus Ex Machina. Her interacting with the plot at the end of the book is not a Deus Ex Machina. If she shows up as a Deus Ex Machina, I'll agree with you. But
she is the one thing that ODM is scared of.
That doesn't make her a Deus Ex Machina, though. If she shows up at the Contest of Champions from the beginning, she's not a Deus Ex Machina.
A Deus Ex Machina means act of God, right? She's created by God.
But narrative... No, that's...
She's created by God. Just saying.
That's not what that means at all. You're so proud of that one. That's so dumb. I'm so mad at you right now. No, a Deus Ex Machina narratively is that, like, at the darkest moment of the soul, an act of God happens to save someone who shouldn't be saved.
Save someone who shouldn't be saved?
Like
I don't think it's limited to that.
What I mean is that it's showing up at the last second to save the day. It's Han Solo shooting down Darth Vader in the trench run.
Sure, yeah.
It's a Deus Ex Machina. He left, he comes back, it's a Deus Ex Machina moment. Biodo Mishram just being part of the plot at the end of this book isn't a Deus Ex Machina. She's been well established.
Yeah.
Maya showing up...
She's a Chekhov's gun. Yeah, I guess that would be...
No. Chekhov's gun means something.
Yeah.
She is not a Chekhov's gun.
She's the
People
one thing ODM
are not Chekhov's guns.
Of. She's the one thing that ODM is scared of, and we have to find out why. She can't just not be... We have to find out why ODM is scared of her. I'm sorry. That
isn't what a Okay. Chekhov's guns are not everything that is foreshadowed. That is not what foreshadowing is not Chekhov's guns. Chekhov's gun is a very specific thing, which is that if an item is presented that the audience knows what it does, it will do that thing by the end of the book. Yeah. We don't know what Biodo Mishram does, and we don't know what happens if she goes off. She is explicitly not a Chekhov's gun. Guys, we can't just say Chekhov's gun every time we mean that she's been foreshadowed to exist in the plot.
Exist. That's not...
A Chekhov's gun is when the audience knows that a gun is dangerous and that it can go off. If you put it on a table at the beginning of a play, it has to go off by the end of the play or the audience will be disappointed. That is not what Biodo Mishram is. It is a very specific literary device that he is not using here. Maya,
oh my God.
We know Maya is going to show up. Maya is also not a Chekhov's gun. She's not.
No one said that.
That's not how it works.
No one said that.
There are no Chekhov's guns in this book. There's not a single one. Everything that has gone off has already gone off. There's not a single thing in this book that's a Chekhov's gun. Yeah, I guess
we saw the flute, so...
The flute was a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
No. The flute was a Chekhov's gun.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The flute plays music, and therefore... Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, my idea is that, like, just based on the description that Tanavast and Honor the Shard came up with as Tanavast was dying, was that it most describes Szeth in terms of who they want to hold honor next. And so I don't know. I kind of hope that the Oath Pact goes away. I hope that there are no heralds anymore. And I think that, honestly, that Szeth might hold the Shard of Honor. Because it also is going to then... Because in a way, then Szeth will not have to kill anyone anymore. He's, like, too powerful. In a sense, right? Whether how you lay blame when God is involved in, like, guiding the actions of man. I'm not saying that Szeth is never going to be, like, responsible for people dying if he is Honor, but he is never going to... I don't think if he becomes Honor, he would never have to kill again, which is what he wants more than anything. And so I that's why I think that Szeth is the potential candidate for the Shard, and that's maybe why Kaladin is also there, because they keep saying that whatever is going to happen here is more important than the concepts of champions, right? We've been told by Witch, we've been told by the fucking wind. Yeah. Whatever's going on in Szeth's plotline is maybe not more important,
but, like, important in a different way.
The wind said... I'm pretty sure said more important.
I know, but the wind is... I don't know that the wind is reliable in that. The wind is saying, like, the thing that happens to me is more important than what happens to the rest of y'all. You know what I mean?
Which,
I have a feeling they will be of equal importance.
Sure. And that's honestly going to be subjective.
Chekhov's ascension to godhood. Y'all... No, Chekhov's gun is a specific thing. I can't believe we're still arguing that on book club.
No, they're not. They're making fun of you.
But it's a specific thing.
We know.
It's not just foreshadowing. The wind is a diva. That is true.
Szeth would be psyched if he can just let the Honor Shard tell him what to do. Well, I mean, that as well. Right?
This book would immediately be 40% better. Immediately. If it wasn't so much... I know I said this during book club, but I just want to reiterate this point, because it is globally the thing that I'm most disappointed in the book is just the scenes of characters just having inane conversations. Sometimes emotional ones. Like, there's a couple where Sigzil is, like, talking with someone, like, how do you get over the emotional loss of losing your soldiers? And, like, that is an interesting emotional conversation. And then the chapter... That section will end with Sigzil being like, all right, I have a plan. Cut.
Yeah.
If the book didn't do that...
87 times?
It would just immediately be better.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
That shit is like amateur writing.
The worst part of this book is genuinely the whiplash between POVs that makes no sense whatsoever.
The random Shalon POVs?
Yeah. It's, this happens here, then we shift. Then this is unrelated, and then we shift. And then I have a plan, and then we shift. And, like, nothing is ever allowed to just, like, resolve in the moment. We have to cut away from it. We can't just let something play out.
Ship's Lady says, they said reverse shot could not be depicted in written form. That's very funny. It's...
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up, chat? Because I honestly...
Is there anything we didn't talk about? There's probably stuff we missed. I just am so... I'm so done.
I do feel, like, really bogged down by this book.
Yeah.
And if there was something you wanted to touch on, we can do that before we head out of here, but...
What shocks...
kind of like...
What genuinely surprises me about this book is that, like, if you go to Goodreads, I think it has, like, a 4.5 stars.
Out of 10? Yeah.
No. Out of 5.
Really? I'd give it, like, a 4.5 out of 10.
4.4 out of 5. 4.37. Like, that's the thing about this that I get the least is, like...
So, yeah, I guess we are in the minority. I gave it 3. Yeah, 3 out of 5. What's that? 60% roughly? Yeah.
A billion stars.
A billion stars?
That's the way this person started the review. Like, I sometimes I'm like...
I blame the hype? Yeah, maybe.
I sometimes feel like...
This is crazy.
And I don't feel like I do this, but I do feel like a lot of people do this, where the properties that are important to people become so important to their personality that they end up just being like, oh, I just love it because I love it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm not saying that if you give this book a 5 out of 5, you're wrong. But I am shocked that the majority opinion on this book is so high. Yeah. Because I think this book is bad. I think it's poorly written. I think it has huge problems. I think it is insulting to its readers at points in the way that it is
1 out of 10. Damn, me monk. Yeah.
I would give it a 3.
Like I said, I think 4.5.
I give it a 3 out of 10.
4.5 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a little bit higher than I would, but I think that this book is structurally. Here's the thing.
Chekhov's very high Goodreads score.
I wouldn't mind if the book were as foundationally cracked as it is, if it was at least entertaining. But I find it incredibly boring.
Yeah. I agree. I'm losing interest, and I hate that because I love Oathbringer so goddamn much. I will say, reading this book has made me love Rhythm of War more, for sure. So that is a positive.
Titanic says you don't need to blame anything for people liking something you don't like. You're maybe just in the minority, and that's okay. I understand that, and I'm not saying that. I do get that. I do understand what you're saying. But this book is like deeply flawed to me on like really objective way in objective ways. Yeah. Like there's things that I can point to where I'm like, Wit hands him a flute and tells him the song, and then Kaladin never gives a shit about that. And then it just, I'm glad this character, this 10,000-year-old character from another planet could see the future. Like, is that what people want from fantasy? Is just to have a DMPC walk the characters through the campaign? Because everyone complains about that on D&D subreddits. Yeah, like true. Why is it that is so? Why is this so popular? Is wild to me. Yeah. When I think that it is written in a way that is. The language is all over the place. There's no consistent language of like how he writes this book.
I will die on the hill that brainstorming is one of the like worst language shoe-ins to a book I've ever seen in my life.
I just think that like I think that this is his worst written book. In terms of what a novel should accomplish. And in addition to it being his worst book, it's also so long. Yeah. And again, if you like it, I'm not saying that you shouldn't like it. And I'm not saying that, like, if you give it 5 stars, you're wrong. If you love this, you love this, and it works for you.
There also might be stuff at the end that is able to lift it up a little bit more. I think that is possible.
I would wish...
But you gotta get to that point.
I think that if we lose the ability to criticize things from people we love, from artists that we love, then they will fall into the worst of their bad habits. And I genuinely, this is gonna sound mean, I think Brandon Sanderson deserves criticism for this book. I think that he is owed criticism for this book. And I think that he should take a really hard look at how this book came to be in this state so that he finds his way back to why he was so successful.
Yeah. And I think that a lot of people hear the word criticism and think it's a negative. I don't think anyone deserves to be like, your thing sucked. You know, you suck as a person. Like, this is fucking terrible. Like, I think that, like, constructive criticism is a good thing, is a positive, because that's how we get better as people, as artists, as workers, like in so many aspects of our lives. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm just speaking for me. I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to put out better stuff. Like I feel accomplished when my things grow, right, and improve on. And I think that just to be clear, no one deserves for someone to be like, yeah, you fucking suck, you're terrible, your shit sucks, blah, blah, blah.
I'm not saying that.
No, I know, but I'm different. I'm trying to say that's not what criticism means, because some people do think that that's what criticism means, right?
Sure, yeah.
That's all I am clarifying, because I think that people that just do that are not adding any value whatsoever.
When I say that he deserves criticism, I say that from the perspective of me saying he has 4 books that I consider to be some of the greatest fantasy novels I've ever read in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I when I say that, like, there's a genuine, like, problem in this novel with how it is written and how it wastes its audience's time. I'm saying that from the perspective of me saying, I know he can write good books.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying he's a bad author.
Yeah.
I'm not. I am saying this book should have been put through more effort. This book feels rushed.
Yeah, needs some work.
I just...
Yeah.
I want to see what are the other books?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that, unfortunately, criticism is ruined because of how the internet has taken it and run with it. People actually don't know how to communicate criticisms in a way that is useful or positive, and it's just shitting on everything, and it's rage bait, and it's incredibly frustrating to deal with. And so, honestly, for the people who are like, no, you're not allowed to, like, criticize or shit on my book, like, I'm like, look, I kind of get it. I sympathize, because so many people online just want to take a crap all over everything and not bring any value, and none of it is actual criticism.
Okay, I don't care about Goodreads at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Emperor's Soul has the same rating as Wind and Truth. Emperor's Soul is a fucking masterpiece. It is a perfect little novella.
Is there
What
anyone...
do you mean?
Yeah.
How does that have a 4.37?
Find me
but
one
Wind
person...
and Truth has a 4.37. Emperor's Soul is banging.
Find me one person who doesn't like Emperor's Soul. Or doesn't think it's good. I think you can be like, this kind of story is not my story. But, like, I don't know. Anyways, this was a book club. In the way that this is... Wind and Truth is a book.
Someone wrote that somewhere that cracked me up.
Yeah, and we are very grateful.
Oh, it was a review of Wind and Truth in the Discord.
Someone posted a photo.
Where it's like, Wind and Truth is in fact a book.
Yeah. It is a book. It is also a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
But
I'm so excited to start Dungeon Crawler Girl.
I know, so am I.
I just want to read anything else right now.
Merry Christmas, guys. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hope you enjoy good food. Hope you have a good time. Yeah. I'm really excited to come back to book club when we're home from Calgary. Finish up this book and move on to something fun and new and exciting.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 4 years. And I'm so interested to see... when we moved from Wheel of Time to Brandon Sanderson, I thought that the majority of our audience would come with us. But I've seen so many... I've seen so many people in the Discord that are like, oh, thank God we're moving on from Brandon Sanderson. And I was like, oh, shit. The show will never be for everyone all the time, because people like different books, they read different things, they enjoy different stuff. But hopefully
I would argue the show is for a very small percentage of the human population.
100%. I agree with that for certain. But I'm so excited to see who comes back to book club.
I'm excited to get back to Kushiels. For Valentine's Day, I think we're going to do it. Right?
So fucking good.
We'll do Carl expands and Kushiels. For Valentine's Day, we'll do some smut.
Depends, because we are going to be in Arizona. So.
Right. Thank you so much for watching this. If you sat through me complaining for another 3 hours, you are a better person than I am. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. When I grew up in this house, my family, we blended and we moved into this house. We started doing high-low. We would commiserate over each other's highs, celebrate each other's lows. This is the house where that started. This is the house where I got the idea for this for book club. So, Clarus, what is your high for this week's reading of Wind and Truth?
I think it has to be the emotional impact of Nail's scene, and the kind of unraveling that the reason he has to rationalize in the way that he does and follow the letter of the law is because he's like, I can't trust my own mind, and that's so tragic.
Yeah.
And it was that moment in and of itself was very well done, and the fight leading up to it was kind of cool as well. Like there was a lot to love in that chapter, and especially for Zeph being like, no, I'm not gonna fight you. I don't want to kill anymore. So that was fucking sick. What's your low?
My low is that the Spren have just been forgotten in this book.
Yeah.
And I really thought they were going to be so important. And I thought that my moment in Rhythm of War was going to mean something. And the fact that it didn't really taints Rhythm of War for me. Because Aelin is my favorite character still. And so I want that plot to matter. And it didn't. It was just pointless. And so much of these books is pointless in hindsight. And that it's sad to me that Wind and Truth has ruined past moments. Isn't even just bad on its own, but it's like ruining the past for me.
Yeah.
What's your low?
My low, I think, fairly obvious. It's that I don't understand Zeth becoming truthless. It doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't really work.
It doesn't work. It doesn't resonate for me. I don't understand. It feels dumb.
It's because it's another moment where it's just because they had to save the reveal of what the heralds actually thought for the final day.
Maybe?
It's because everything in this book has to be the final day.
Yeah.
He needed 1,400 pages to get to the point where the last 100 pages were the only thing that mattered.
Yeah. What's your high?
I mean, it's weird to say it, but like I think it is tough. There are some really great moments. I think it's Sigzil renouncing his vows,
which is totally fair.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would pick that one because that was my back. I was like,
yeah,
it's really tough.
It's such a tough moment, but it is a beautiful subverting of the prophecy and yeah. Even if you watch the audiobook reaction, I think that I was struggling with it in the moment more than I am now. Like I think I've come around on it.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, do something nerdy night, y'all. Follow us on the internet. I'm at Nerdy Nightly. She's at Clars Clars. We're going to talk about smut. Where would you add smut? You don't have the obvious answer?
No.
Oh, babe, the answer is so obvious.
Is it that Yasna and Wit just like sexted all night instead of actually preparing?
No, they broke up.
So?
I want to watch Tanavas fuck a dragon.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
I want all the details.
Yeah, that's fair.
I want art chat. I want fan art of Tanavas just rubbing his BBC up all in that dragon.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean?
Fair. You know what? That's fair. I'm sure that art exists. You can probably find it.
Tanavas just fucking laying pipe on her serpentine body.
Wow, you just really want your parents to hear this.
I forgot.
You're like so
I didn't even think about
being
that.
so loud.
Oh, I didn't even. Why did you say that out loud? Oh, I forgot.
You're welcome.
Oh no, I was so into my joke. I forgot my parents are here. Fuck me. I have no filter. I just have no filter, chat.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna like keep it down a bit, but no, you screamed that into the world.
Yeah, they're not surprised.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you,
guys.
mods.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.